Welcome to the July 28th, 2026 Zoning Board of Appeals meeting of the Town of Raymond. The Zoning Board will come to order. The board does have a quorum. I am now going to hold a roll call. David Murch.
Greg Dean.
Tom Hennessy.
B. Lockwood.
This is a public proceeding, and unless the board specifically votes to go into executive session, you have the right to hear everything that is being said and to look at all of the exhibits presented. Please notify the chair if you are unable to see or to hear. The board works from a published agenda and will be considering tonight's items in the following order. Call to order, approval of minutes from April 28th, 2026, new business, election of chair and vice chair, interview of Jess McConkey for membership on the board, and Christopher Curran's application for a conditional use home occupation at 97 Swans Road. Then old business, staff communications, and finally adjournment. In each instance, the burden is upon the applicant to demonstrate compliance with the provisions of the applicable state ordinance, of the applicable ordinance or state law. All persons speaking, including representatives of the applicant and members of the public, are asked to stand at the microphone, state their name and address and affiliation with the applicant, either being for, opposed, or neutral. All persons speaking shall address the chair. Any conversation must be held in abeyance until after the board is formally adjourned. After the board votes on the merits of each application, it will prepare a written notice of decision. Because the notice of decision may substantially affect any appeals rights, and as a matter of courtesy, the board asks that those attending the meeting with regards to a specific application not leave until the board has completed its discussion. Appeals from adverse decisions must be filed with the Superior Court or as otherwise provided by law within 45 days of this board's decision. Also, to be certain that you preserve your individual right to file any such appeal, you must be certain that the board's record evidences your appearance this evening in opposition and your basis for your opposition. So next on our agenda is approval of minutes from April 28th, 2026. Has everybody had opportunity to read and review?
Yes. Yep.
Any discussion on it?
No.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All those any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor? Unanimous. Next up will be an interview with Jess McConkey for membership on the board. I will take a moment to say that we're a board of 5. We've lost Fred Miller to the select board. Fred joined this board on February 11th, 2022, so he's with us for a little over 4 years. So I do want to take a moment to say thank you very much, Fred. Your service here was very much appreciated.
Excuse me, David, do you want to bypass the chair and vice chair?
Oh, I did not mean to do that, but I see now that I did. How about this? Since I've already started the process of introducing Jess, let's do that. And thank you for that reminder. I don't want to give up the chair so easily. So, Jess, why don't you go ahead and just go up to the podium, introduce yourself, and let us know why you want to join this board.
Hi, Jess McConkey. I've been a Raymond resident for a long time, and even before I was here. My grandparents were here and so forth, and the town's given a lot to me, and I really I'm hopeful for the opportunity to give back in some way, and I think I'd be a good asset.
So one of the things we were almost kind of talking about a little bit earlier is this board is somewhat known for taking a while to come to its decisions. I think it's a strength of this board to really look at all appeals from all sides of things. Ultimately, we need to make sure that ordinances are being met and observed in light of how they were drafted and approved by the Raymond residents. But we take a lot of time, and sometimes the meetings can run a little long. We had a marathon once into after midnight, so we've since made adjustments to our bylaws to not do that. But does any of that scare you? Long meetings?
No, not even a little. I'm here to work and learn. There's a lot to learn. It's not something I'm fully aware of. I've looked into it some, but I think I have no issue with time constraints. I literally live almost across the street from here, so it's pretty easy to get here.
Perfect. Board, do you have any questions for Jess?
I think I'm good. I'm good.
I've got nothing.
Okay. Jess, you got anything for us? Any questions?
Not really. Just maybe other than, what do you guys look for? Like what would make a good, asset to your team that you have now? Just basically what you said, just wanting to serve is the biggest thing, and not being afraid to, for us, we have to really take a deep dive into the ordinances and really try and grasp what they tell us, and what was the spirit in which they were voted on and approved by the Raymond residents. So we owe them a service, and that's really what we're looking for, is somebody who, takes that aspect of it seriously and wants to serve the public. So if you're willing to do that, I'm happy to have you as part of the board. Yeah, definitely willing to do that. Look forward to it.
So we're going to take a vote. If it's in your favor, the next step then is we essentially approve of you being on the board, and then it has to go to the select board. The select board then takes the formal vote as to whether or not to take you on as part of the board. So we cannot do that, but we do send them our recommendation. So
Okay.
And to that end, do I have a motion to recommend Jess to the select board for a role on membership on the Zoning Board of Appeals?
So moved.
Second.
Any final discussion? All those in favor? It is unanimous.
Thanks all.
You're welcome. So you're
Thank you.
more than welcome to stick around and listen in, but I'll let you decide. So next up is Sandy did notice we need to do election for the upcoming, this fiscal year 2027 chair and vice chair. Before we do nominations, I do want to stress that, I want to call it status quo, but we've kind of kept the same people in place for a while now, and I'm more than happy to consider if somebody wants to take on a role or do something different, that we should talk about that and consider it. Otherwise, we can move on to nominations.
Well, I'll echo your, sentiment. If anybody, don't want to, it's not a foregone conclusion, but it felt like it has been the same for several years. So, if you guys are.
Yeah, I'll speak up and say I'd be happy to have you two continue on in your current positions.
Okay.
Yeah, so moved.
Well, I think.
Well,
I'll,
so we need a nomination for chair.
I'll nominate David Murch for chair.
Do we have any discussion?
No discussion.
I will thank you very much for that nomination. I shall accept. All those in favor? Do we have a nomination for vice chair?
I'll nominate Greg for vice chair.
Second.
Any discussion? You good with that, Greg?
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Okay. All those in favor? You can vote if you want.
Do you vote for yourself?
You do.
I can
Yeah,
never
it's
remember.
legit.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was unanimous too. Okay. Next up, we have Christopher Curran, who has submitted an application for a conditional use home occupation for a private membership wine fulfillment service at 97 Swans Road. Property is known as map 24, lot 50. It is in the LRR1 zone. The board will be conducting a review and a public hearing on this application. The board did conduct a site walk on this property on Saturday, July 18th, 2026. We do have a site walk report, which Pete has prepared. And Pete, if you are willing to read that for us.
Will do. So for the site walk, the attendees from the ZBA members was David Murch, Pete Lockwood, Tom Hennessy. Greg Dean was not present. He was not in attendance. Other attendees were Wayne Jones from the Raymond Fire Department and Chris Curran, the applicant and owner. The site walk started at 9 a.m. Dave provided the guidelines for the site walk. The site walk was to get a visual perspective of the property and building where Chris Curran plans on operating his temporary storage and delivery of wine and beer to wine club members. Mr. Curran has applied for a conditional use permit. David informed Mr. Curran that the Zoning Board of Appeals meetings is in 1 week at the Raymond Broadcast Studio. At the meeting, the ZBA would be asking questions in a public meeting specific to the applicant's request for conditional use permit. Today's site walk is for the ZBA was mostly to make observations and clarify information, such as the sketch, which is included in our package. On the other hand, Wayne Jones could ask whatever he wanted to relative to his official inspection. The building that Mr. Curran plans on using for his business is a 2-story garage with an attic space that is accessible through a fold-down stair ladder type device. The building is not heated or cooled, and there is no insulation. The first floor, where the business will be operated, has 3 concrete walls and 1 daylight wall east side with 2 windows and a personnel door. The first floor also has a concrete floor. The structure is built from 2x6 wall construction. The ceiling of the first floor is 2x12 structure, 12 inches on center, and there's a laminated carrying beam, 4 2x12s, that runs the length of the building, east and west. There are 2 lolly columns evenly spaced along the carrying beam. There's a polyethylene plastic sheeting covering 75% of the first floor overhead. There are 2 stairways to access the first floor from the second floor level. One is inside the building and the other is outside of the building. The power panel is in the southwest corner of the first floor. There's a standard garage door on the south wall with an electric garage door opener. The first floor is directly accessible to the garage door from the driveway. The storage area will be along the north concrete wall, which is approximately 26 feet long. Chris still needs to get some clarity from the code enforcement officer regarding how much space he can allocate to storage and operation of his business. He's not sure if it is 20% of the square footage of the garage or 20% of his house. The second floor, which is the exact same footprint as the first floor, is a wooden frame structure with no insulation. The floor appears to be 2x4 tongue and groove plank flooring. There are 2 standard garage doors and a personnel door on the west wall facing and parallel to the road. There is a paved parking area in front of the 2 garage doors with space for 3 vehicles. This paved area provides direct access from Swan Road to the second floor garage space and the 2 garage doors. The second floor will not be used for any of the business at this time. The building has electrical service only. There is no drainage for either the first or second floor. There is no running water to or in the building, and there are no planned upgrades for the building at this time. We reviewed the sketch, which is included in our package, and it appears to be accurate. There are 3 structures on the 2 properties owned by Mr. Curran, 2 houses and 1 garage. The driveway for 97 Swan Road diagonally cuts across the property of the house next door, which Mr. Curran also owns and rents. The site walk ended on 9:34 a.m.
Excellent work.
And Pete.
Any discussion in regards to the site walk?
I just have that one question that you asked me, David.
Yeah, one of the observations was for the first floor. Obviously, on the second floor, there's 2 garage doors, which I believe to be standard. On the first floor, there is, yes, a garage door, but it seemed to be a little bit smaller than standard. That was at least my observation. I wasn't too sure if the board had a remembrance of similar or not.
Yeah, it was definitely
And
smaller than a normal door.
I couldn't answer your question without going back and measuring it myself, so.
So then, given that, would you feel comfortable then in saying that we accept these with the modification that it was slightly smaller than standard door, garage door on the first floor?
Sure.
Okay. So can I get a motion to accept this site walk as written with the modification of slightly smaller than standard garage door on the first floor?
I'll make the motion. Yeah, we approve the minutes as written, with that a little addition.
Pete?
You want me to second? Or
Well, I can second it, I guess, yes. Let me do that. So any further discussion? Are you comfortable with those change, Pete? You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So all those in favor of accepting the site walk as written with a minor change? David, yes?
I'm going to abstain.
Abstain. So 3 in favor, 1 abstain. That makes sense. All right. Mr. Curran, if you want to take opportunity now to go up to the podium, introduce yourself, just tell us a little bit, please. We've got your packet, but if you want to just talk out loud about what you're planning to do, that would be very helpful to us.
Yeah. What a cool experience this is. I've never done anything like. Jason, are you?
Sorry, I'm fighting poison ivy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had that earlier this summer. Yeah, this is a cool experience. So thank you. And it's very nice to meet 3 of the 4 of you as well at the property, as professional as it was. So you would like me to describe what I'm doing?
Yeah, just give us an overview of what you're looking to accomplish as part of this home occupation.
Yeah, so it's a private members wine club. There will be no on-site traffic whatsoever. It'll be very scheduled deliveries, minimal footprint to the road or community. Or members will sign up. They'll have access to a lot of different wines for a very specific price. They'll place their orders all online and ahead of time, twice a month. And once they do, the orders will be delivered out. Yeah, I don't, there's really not much to it. It's basically a storage facility, is what it is.
Right.
In reading the ordinances, it does talk about 20% of the size of the dwelling space. Do you have the dimensions, floor space for the house that's on the property?
I can pull from town the records from the town as to whatever the total dwelling property is. My only thing is I'm going to abide by whatever the standards are and what the law states based off of whether it's the garage or the house in total or both. I think that's the thing in question. So whatever the 20% is what will be adhered to.
Do you happen to know what it is, Jason?
So this is some interpretation I think can be here, because when you read A, wholly within the dwelling or accessory structure. Traditionally, we've said an accessory structure doesn't count as the dwelling unit footprint. So is this a separate garage?
Yes.
Detached garage?
Yeah.
So this could be considered an accessory structure, and I believe the intent of the ordinance, is so that a business doesn't consume like a dwelling. It starts as 20%, and then all of a sudden it takes over another bedroom, another living room, and now it's not a house anymore. Where it's in an accessory structure, it doesn't, the ordinance doesn't speak to the square footage of an accessory structure, only of the dwelling unit. So we've always interpreted that as to mean if you have a separate structure, you could use that whole structure as your home occupation.
Say that to me again.
Yeah, could you, I'm not sure I know, I guess I understood that.
Yeah, so in A, wholly within the dwelling or accessory structure. So, you could have a garage, detached garage, and you could be running your whatever home occupation out of there. Because, it says there shall be, where is it? 20%, down F, it says not utilize more than 20% of the floor area of the dwelling unit. So if you have an accessory structure that's not a dwelling unit, to me that doesn't fall underneath the 20% rule.
So dwelling unit specifically means the house?
The house, yeah. It has a full kitchen, sleeping, bath, it encapsulates all that.
But it doesn't include the basement, right? Just
Right, you're correct.
Yeah.
Can I jump in here?
This is 9.2.
This is 9.2, so you see the A, and then you can see the F.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you say you had a question?
It even excludes
Can I
basements.
say it my understanding? So if the dwelling is 1,000 square feet and the accessory structure is 800, you're saying 20% of 1,000, is that?
No, I'm saying the accessory structure isn't part of the dwelling unit, so it doesn't speak, this ordinance doesn't speak to how much of the accessory structure, it only speaks to the amount of the dwelling unit. So that's always been interpreted as a separate building could be bought and built, an accessory structure that the home occupation can take place in.
Is it fair to say it's 100% of the accessory structure is the
This is where it doesn't speak to it, I would say.
Okay.
I would go in the property owner's favor in that one, where it's not spelled out.
Yeah.
That's my interpretation.
What percentage of the dwelling are you going to use?
I'm starting a business, so as much as I legally can.
Okay, so you want to use some of the dwelling and the accessory.
You can have like an office.
Oh, no.
Just all
No,
confusing.
I'm not going to write any of, if we're talking taxes here.
No. This is,
I'm not writing any of my home off on this.
Yeah.
It'll just be the garage, the additional building. that will
the
be
accessory
used.
structure.
Yeah, accessory.
Okay, so it's
yeah.
0% of the dwelling.
Correct.
Is what your
Yes.
use is for. Okay.
So in terms of, can you just give me an idea of like, so you're obviously going to have deliveries to, you're going to have your own personal deliveries out. What does a delivery to day look like?
It's twice a month. So everything is meant to be as non-invasive to the community as possible, right? Like people get Amazon orders more than this will affect. It's literally twice a month. Orders will come in. They have to be placed at a certain time. So deliveries come in, and then they go out twice a month. That's it. It's to be the most minimal footprint as possible.
What does a delivery in look like? I mean, how many vendors are you looking to work with?
I've gotten quotes so far for 4. I would say I think there are 5 major distributors here in the state. There are some boutique ones that I would, depending, but I mean, we're just getting out of the gate. So I would start with either like 4 or 5 yeah.
And what do they use for delivery vehicles?
It's a great question. So this is a very rural area. These orders coming either via minivan or via box truck that is like the same as like a U.S. Postal Service truck or a UPS truck. These aren't going to be, what are the?
18-wheelers?
My man.
So in the write-up, you had mentioned that it could be the size of like an appliance delivery truck. Is that an option as well? Because that would be larger than a UPS.
Yeah, I mean, well, to me that is like a UPS truck, but yeah, if you're getting a stove or a dishwasher delivered, I mean, it could be. I can't speak. I would never go on record speaking for anything else.
And so when these delivery vehicles come, where are they going to go? How are they going to be actually delivering product to you? What's the process look like?
They go to the barn or the garage, however we want to label it. They pull into the 3 parking spot area up top. They could come into my driveway, whatever you guys deem is the right process. They unload the wine, they bring it into downstairs, they leave it in designated area, they leave.
So they'll be parking in the driveway, unloading out in the driveway, and then transporting it to the
Yes.
structure.
Yeah, all on property. How about that?
Okay. And the garage door that's on the first floor, are you intending to use that for any purposes in relation to the business?
Yeah, if that's okay with all of you. That would make, there's no stairs involved. But again, I'm here to adhere to whatever you deem is the best practice.
So I know that based on the write-up and the sketch, you know, that driveway is on another property.
Which I also own.
Excuse me?
I also own the other property.
Right, but it's a different property. So you're
Yeah,
applying
yeah.
for a home occupation on 97.
So if that's not okay, then we make the delivery in terms of the way in which you guys deem appropriate. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not carrying the cases.
So that's another question then. What does delivery out? So we've kind of talked through delivery to. What does delivery out look like?
Well, without giving all my trade secrets away, the model is that there's no waste, which is the best part about it for me and for everybody else around. There's a minimum that must be purchased, and there is a minimum which correlates with the minimum that I order. So there's no cardboard excess. There's no pallet excess. There's what comes in goes out.
So in terms of though, but obviously the product's down in the garage. How is the product getting out of the garage? What's the method for that? You said you have a vehicle that you're going to be using. Is that similar to the unload process to bring product in? You're going to pull the vehicle into the driveway, open the garage doors, bring the product out?
Cool. All right. Thank you. It will be. I won't be buying a box truck. I won't be buying anything. This will be either on like a trailer, like any kind of like normal vehicle use, right? So a trailer or a truck, like a regular vehicle is how it will be loaded out and then shuttled out.
Okay.
Can I ask?
Go ahead.
In your write-up, you say that the door-to-door delivery is going to be conducted through licensed delivery vehicles in accordance with Maine Code of Rules, Chapter 103-3. I'm not familiar with that, unless Jason is.
I haven't read that one yet.
That was going to be my question too.
So what is a licensed delivery vehicle?
It's a lot of AI talking right there. But it's anything that is under the business, or the business decides to approve that as a vehicle to be used for said delivery.
So it has nothing to do with transporting alcohol?
It's fancy language, is what it is. You can get an Uber can deliver you alcohol at this point.
But I don't know. I think what they're trying to ascertain is like what, like, good example actually. When you order an Uber, you know what the vehicle is. We're trying to understand, like, is it a F1? Do you have any idea what that vehicle is?
Okay, cool. It won't be a box truck. It will either be. It could be my Acura MDX, right?
Just a person, like
it'll be a personal vehicle. Yes,
okay.
yeah.
All right. Is that? Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, I saw the write-up, licensed delivery
verbiage.
vehicle in accordance with Maine Code, whatever, and none of us are familiar with that, so.
Yeah, fancy verbiage.
So scratch it.
I mean, or just I'm just trying to be overly detailed, and it's now causing a problem for us.
So I do have more questions to ask. I'm going to ask just a couple more. I'm going to let my board members ask some, and then I'm going to probably have some more questions for you. In terms of state of Maine and requirements for, well, first off, what you mentioned in the write-up that you're going to be having both wine and malt liquor. Is that correct?
Wine and beer. So there are two licenses, and it'll be whatever ABV is legal under those licenses.
And what does the state of Maine require for storage of that?
That it has a minimum amount of inventory in place. I have $1,000 of a different type of product that is not alcohol available for sale inside the location. I made the joke to him that I have $1,000 plant for sale, and What else? No signage is really required. So it's, yeah, I don't know. I'll leave it. I'll leave that one.
Well, no, I'm just trying because I don't know, similar to Tom, I don't know what the state of Maine requires from a licensing perspective in order to store alcohol on property, in bulk, for commercial purposes. So I'm trying to understand, like part of the ordinances say this needs to essentially be in place so that there's no real obvious change to the residential nature of but I'm trying to decide does there need to be outdoor lighting? Does there need to be security, bars on the window, locked doors? What sort of security measures may need to be put in place?
I think that, if I want to be robbed, I'm going to get robbed, right? So I think that's up to me. But there's insurance that's required. Like if you're going into the detail, there's insurance that's required, specific insurance for business. I have to get I forget, I'd have to look at my notes, but there are, I have to get approved for like a tax aspect. But as far as the state's concerned, to approve these licenses, if I have a commercial space, I'm allowed to do it. It's providing I pass the background checks.
Okay. Do we know, Sandy, did we get anything from Wayne yet, out of curiosity?
I have heard nothing from Wayne.
All right.
I can throw Wayne's comments in if you want.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
Can you just validate he did come back for his second visit?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I do have more questions, but I'm going to obviously give you guys opportunity to ask some questions as well, if either Jason or Mr. Curran.
Yeah, I got a quick question, I think. So on the sketch, Chris, it basically shows the two lots with the driveway going diagonally across one. And I'm just curious as to what happens if the two properties get split up. Is there something written that says that, no, those two will be bound forever?
There's nothing written. I'm quite thankful, actually, that they're two different properties. I don't know. I guess if that ever happens,
It's a bridge to cross later.
It's a bridge to cross later, and
Yeah.
and again, just like with everything, you guys tell me what you need, and then I do it, right? Like,
Right.
So that would be probably a travel easement. He may already have one in his deed. There may be a travel easement for one. It may just be for ingress and egress, and you may have to add a provision that they allow them to do their home occupation ingress and egress through it too. For that to happen, I would imagine.
That's something they'd have to cross at that time when
Yep.
they decide to split up. the
If they're split up.
So that,
Are the properties actually separate now?
Mhm.
They're deeded separately?
yeah,
Okay,
and they're taxed separately, I take it?
yeah, I pay 2 road association fees.
perfect.
Yeah.
I'm not happy about it, but
All right, thank you. Appreciate that.
Do you have anything, Greg or Tom?
I know there was an attachment that was signed off by neighbors and another one that was representing the homeowners association. Did the homeowner road association actually have like an annual meeting and discuss this, and the majority said, oh, we're in favor?
no, because that happens once a year, which is actually, I think, coming up in a couple weeks. But I did go through all the necessary channels of the people that sit on the board. I tried to do as much preemptive work as possible to get a sign off on this, and they said yes. They signed it, which heads up our road association. And if there's more work that you'd like done, just let me know. They don't frivolously sign things, though.
Yeah, was that because the write-up indicated that there was something from the association, but I didn't see anything in the packet. Is there something available or not? We had 3 letters of 3 letters from neighbors. I didn't see anything from a road association.
There's one from the head of the road association that signed off on it.
Okay.
That's included in the packet.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't indicated any, just,
Specifically,
yeah.
I think it was, but if I'm wrong, then I'll go back and double check.
Was it one of the 3 neighbors?
There were 4 actually.
Oh, there were 4.
Yeah,
I only saw 3 in my packet.
but that could also be my $250 Staples printing aspect.
Yeah, I've got 3 letters.
Bradford, Wagner, Paul LeBlanc, and James DeWatcher?
There's nothing from a Zach in there.
No.
Okay, well then.
What, I know that wine and liquor has some level of climate control requirement to it for storage purposes. Are you, during the site walk, there's no climate control whatsoever for the garage. Are you looking to add anything in that regards or no?
Maybe if it takes off, and then if that's necessary, I'll make sure I go through all the appropriate channels for whatever heating or cooling system that needs to happen. Yeah, there's an ideal temperature to store wine, but that's kind of at the discretion of whoever's buying it.
Yeah.
Do you know how long it'll be stored in your facility before it gets delivered? It doesn't sound like it's going to be very long.
No longer than a week. Like the whole model is designed to be in and out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at the site walk, we asked a little bit about this, and it was basically like a 3-season type operation because winter would probably prevent it.
Totally. And if it takes off and revenue starts coming in and there's a business case to outfit the space with more modern technology, then I'll do so.
Mm-hmm.
And again, in adherence to whatever I need to be in adherence to.
How are you planning to handle any waste? In terms of like pallets, excess cardboard, anything associated with the business?
Yeah, so the whole model again is what comes in comes out, right? Everybody has to buy a case of wine, which is 12 bottles. They come in a very standard box. There's no I guess there's no way that's not happening. So 12 bottles come in, 12 bottles are going to go out, no matter what they order. So that's how it's going to work. If there will be no pallets dropped off, because those companies take them with them. If there is any waste, I have a trailer. There's Casco dump, which Raymond residents are allowed to frequent for a higher charge than Casco residents, and that's where it'll go.
So when you say a trailer, can you just elaborate more on that for me?
2-wheel, 8-foot trailer that I got from Tractor Supply, 0% financing for 24 months.
No, but I mean, is the intent to leave the trash within the garage and then transport it to the trailer when you need to get rid of it? Or are you putting it in the trailer until time you need to dispose of it?
Yeah, I'm not going to be leaving it in the trailer at all. If there is waste, it'll go on the trailer and I'll take it out that way.
Same day sort of thing. Like, I'm not saying that the same day of delivery, but if you have trash, is the intent then to put it in the trailer and dispose of it same day?
Yeah, as fast as possible. How about we can, and again, if you want me to sign something that says like within 24 hours, I'm happy to do that as well. Again, any mandates that you guys see fit, just let me know.
Yeah, so, I mean, part of this, yes, we can put conditions on any sort of approval that we do, but there's also a limit to, like, there's an enforceability aspect of it, and we can't expect Jason to be, or any town employee to be driving, I mean, they couldn't anyways because it's a private road, but, trying to scope out, are you disposing of your trash on the same day? So it doesn't behoove us to try and put a condition on this that says you're gonna eliminate.
I'm just offering it, man. I don't
No,
know.
I get it,
I've
but-
never been through anything like this before.
Yeah, I just don't want you to necessarily think that, a lot of this can be conditioned away. We need to hear from you, what the reality is to your plans to operate this business.
Well, I think from a baseline, there is no waste, right? Like I said, what comes in goes out. There's no pallets being left. The boxes that come in that the wine's delivered in is going to be the same amount that's going out to the deliveries.
When we did the site walk, there wasn't any evidence of any sort of drains or anything like that within the structure. I mean, accidents at times do happen, like a bottle of wine, case of wine could drop, you could have a liquid mess, and, the reality is it's a business, you're gonna wanna potentially, ensure that the area is clean. So what measures are you gonna put in place to just ensure, like, say, that there is an accident or a wet cleanup needs to happen, that none of that's gonna escape out of the garage and make it onto the property itself?
Great question. Shop vac, brooms. I don't know. Again, this is all first time for me. So, but if a case of wine spills out, like broom, whatever cleaning measures are going to be necessary to clean it up. Shop vac, brooms, buckets.
So let me give you this scenario. Let's just say you stacked X number of boxes, in the garage downstairs, and then something happens and a box tips over from the top, crashes on the floor and spills, and that happens in the middle of the night, and if may not even realize it for a week, and so now you've got wine potentially leaking out of the garage and going onto the property. I'm just wondering, what measures do you intend to, or do you not intend to put anything in place to sort of like alleviate anything escaping from the garage and making it onto the property?
It's a concrete sealed building. If there's some type of research that you'd like me to do to be able to put said measures in, I'm happy to do that. But like, I don't know, this is not.
You're in the shoreline, so we have to make sure that.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think where I'm going with this is that like it's a concrete building that's set 150 feet away from the water, which it's still near the water.
So I can make a suggestion for you.
Yeah, please.
So
Thanks, man.
You
Tell
could
me.
have an area, just have a dam, like you build up like some 2x4s or something. You could build a dammed in area, and you could do something like that.
That sounds great. Like, yeah.
But we're also not supposed to.
Offer things like that?
Right.
Okay, got it. Got it. Yeah, I can take some pressure treated wood, create a dam in the said area. I could put the flooring of which the cases sit on could also be spaced, so the water, or not water, but wine, if anything breaks in the whole area, and then some excess area outside, again within the 20% limit that we decide that is approved, could then all just be funneled into that area and contained.
I think maybe some of the tension that here is there's a list of things that we're supposed to make sure don't happen.
Right.
And I like, you're a early or hyper early stage entrepreneur trying to start a business. You're not going to have all the answers. And so we're trying to find the middle ground of like, I totally get the fact you don't have all the answers, get it. But we're also trying to say, okay, can we check all these boxes?
100%. There's no tension on my end. I'm just like, oh, these are great questions. Like,
Yeah. You'll figure them out.
Yeah. I'm
So,
just
like, I get it. Yeah.
Whatever I need to do, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So, and Greg makes a really good point. And I think, after we've had some, sort of finished our conversations here, everybody feels comfortable with this conversation. At some point, we'll open up to public comment. Then we eventually have to close the public hearing, and then we go into deliberations. And once we're in deliberations, that's it. The appeals filed, and we're moving forward.
Cool.
So we want to make sure that you're hearing all the different aspects to this. So there may come just before we close public hearing where you may say, you know what, hey, let's just table this application for a month. Let me go ahead and go back and get some answers for myself and for you to ensure that I'm going to meet the actual requirements of the ordinance.
Well, so I guess back to that then, like it's a concrete sealed building, right? The basis. There's a door, and then there is a undersized garage door, which we should get some measurements for if that's in question. There's not going to be any leakage into the lake if there's a spill, and any measures that need to be like seals or anything, again, like what Jason lovely in a loving manner like suggested, I can put blockades, but it's a sealed building.
Right. I was just saying, there's no drains. The water, anything, it's gonna have to go somewhere. So, but you make a good point. Also during the site walk, it was observed there's no potable water at all to that building. And you're going to be working. Well, you're going to have family employees in there. You're going to have up to 2 employees working in there. What do you plan to do in terms of, they need the ability to wash their hands, fresh drinking water, even potentially, restroom facilities. What are you looking to do to accommodate potentially those aspects of things?
Use my home.
Yeah, so that's kind of an open question. It's either the home or the accessory unit. There's it's something the board will have to discuss, but the ordinance is written, it's either one or the other. And you previously mentioned 0 would be in the home. So this is 100% within the structure.
Well, then if they're not allowed to go to the bathroom or wash their, I've been to a lot of storage facilities that don't have restrooms or sinks. They're keeping roofing supplies or lumber or.
Yeah, but they're zoned differently.
Yeah, and this is basically ostensibly a warehouse.
Yeah, I just you're indicating that you're it's 100% occupation in the barn or the garage, however we're calling it. You're going to have employees. They're going to need to have the ability they're going to get dirty. They need to wash their hands. There's some level of potable water needs to be available to this garage. I'm just wondering what your plan.
What if I'm the sole employee, though?
Well, the ordinance has, so a home occupation and a conditional use, if it gets approved, it runs with the land.
Cool.
So if you happen to leave, that conditional use stays with that property. So one of the things we'll have to discuss is, it allows for a maximum of 2 additional employees plus. So in my opinion, at least as we're talking out loud, do you have a plan in place to accommodate all, a plan needs to be in place to accommodate all that. And even if you are the sole owner, it's still, we're looking to have a home occupation within the garage.
That was just a question on my end. Yeah.
Okay. So do you have any thoughts on how to provide, or are you planning to provide potable water to the garage?
I'm not. It's a totally different space.
In terms of parking, so at this point, do you plan to use the garage for storing any vehicles that aren't associated with the business?
Yeah, the top floor.
So the accessory unit then is not 100% dedicated to the home occupation?
Well, it'll be seasonal, so it won't be. Again, look, you tell me what you need me to do. If there are no vehicles that can be stored in there over the winter while business is not in place, totally fine. If I can store business or vehicles in there and that's okay, totally great. All I want to know from you is what you need from your standpoint and I'll follow those rules.
That's kind of you letting us know what you're gonna do. It's not so much probing what we're not gonna tell you what you need to do. We need to hear from you what you're going to do in order to meet the needs of the ordinance.
Well, I think that I'll throw the question right back at you. It's like, you just tell me what you need and I'll make sure I adhere to that. Like, yes, do cars live in there over the winter? Sure. But if I do this and there's a condition that you say that there are no cars that are allowed to be stored there in the winter, then I won't do that.
Jason, is there such a thing as a seasonal home occupation?
I would say no.
Okay. So,
No, but I mean, there are plenty of mixed-use buildings.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think in your, you know, if you were gonna use it, just say, you know, I'm gonna store one vehicle in here for X months out of the year, but you're probably still gonna do deliveries all year round, right? So,
This is a proof of concept. Yes, for this application standpoint, we're gonna go with that. I do it all year, but like the winter comes along and I shut this down, and if I get this rolling, I get another space in like Westbrook or Portland or something like that, and that's where kind of like the main operation goes to. The beauty about this for me is that I get to test out a theory without signing a 12-month or 5-year lease and have that overhead.
I think to David's point, it's once we give a conditional use, it goes with the land. So
Well-
it's not like closing up shop and say it's gone away. So
I'm just trying to give you the best answers I can. I don't.
and I think the couple of the questions here, Jason didn't do his site walk, and Greg wasn't present. So one of the write-up was the cars are stored on the second level above where the wine storage is going to be. And Pete wrote up that there was polyethylene plastic sheathing in between. It's obvious something was leaking from cars and oil and gas above because it was all stained.
yeah.
So if it just
The previous owner had like a '66 Cadillac convertible in there, which was quite cool, and I wish I had bought that. But that's what that was from.
Yep.
in terms of parking, so there's 2 spots in the garage and 3 in the driveway. So based on my reading, at a minimum, you have to have 2 spots allowed for those who dwell on the property. So there's 2 there. You have to have at least 2 spaces for your employees. So that's 4. And then you also have a space for essentially the company vehicle, which means I know that you've got no customers coming to your place, but you are going to have vehicles that are going to deliver. Where are they going to go?
To the 3 spots that are up top, or if it's allowed to go in through the driveway, that's.
So if everybody's working and the delivery truck comes, then whoever's parked in the driveway is going to have to back out onto the road so that the delivery vehicle can park.
Probably, if that scenario happens, yeah.
Do you anticipate any? I saw that that was a dead end road. Do you anticipate any problems with it being a dead end road and your delivery vehicles?
No, there's plenty of room to turn around in the area.
What area would be that?
The 3 spots up top, my garage, or sorry, not my garage, but the driveway that leads into the bottom floor.
Okay.
To follow up on that, David, I think the real question would be, we haven't seen a report from the fire department, and they require turnaround for fire trucks and ambulances. So if it's a dead end without a cul-de-sac, they object to anything that goes on beyond the current use of the houses because it's grandfathered. Jason, jump in if I'm saying something wrong.
No, that, I'd have to double check to see because once a use is abandoned for a certain amount of time, it does sunset out. But I'd have to check to see if conditional uses fall under that.
And also in talking with Wayne, who came a second time, went to the end of the road again twice and back, I believe. That was not, he did give me a list of things that would need to happen in order to make this happen, which is totally fine. And that was not one of them.
Okay.
So you mentioned in your operational commitments offered, annual reporting to code. I just wanted, that's something you're willing to do?
Yeah.
Can you just reassert that?
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever you guys need, honestly.
Okay.
I get that there are certain things that need to happen, and all I want to know is just like what they are so I can make sure I abide by them.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Anything for?
I think I would just want to follow up on that one. I mean, if there's going to be an annual reporting to the CEO, that would be typically you, Jason. What are you looking for?
I think I would just ask for like average number of deliveries, the traffic going in and out, how many people he has working there, and kind of the size of the vehicles going in and out, and then if there's been any complaints or any issues, any spills or along that nature. Yeah, but
Okay.
And with that, happy to provide like pictures of the delivery vehicles, get signed affidavits by neighbor, whatever, letters or something. I don't know, man. Like, you tell me what you need to make your life better, and then I can do that.
that list is long.
Okay, well, yeah. Well, not whatever, but I probably cap it at 3.
While we're asking
Okay.
Jason questions, I don't know if we want to do this in deliberations or what.
No, let's go ahead.
Are you familiar with the state alcohol licensing?
I've read a little bit on it, and it seems like it is pretty general, and it's not. I was surprised. I think some of the rules, but I'm not super. I don't know the rules that well.
It's a county, right?
It's a miniaturized distribution center.
Right. And a lot of stuff. It's the law is a lot of if this, if that is very broken down by each alcohol type. And each one's kind of handled slightly differently, but also very similarly, just with small nuances is what I noticed. But it looked to me like, I obviously didn't send this along to you guys because I thought it didn't fit the home occupation. So, it wasn't in the table of uses, and it seemed to me like if you gave him the conditional use, it seemed to me that the alcohol rules were the easier ones for him to kind of hit rather than the municipal ones. I looked at us as being far more restrictive than what he's looking at to get licensed.
It's different than cannabis licensing,
Yes, from my understanding.
which might be a home business too. I don't know.
Right.
I have no interest in that, by the way.
This is a lot less intensive than some of those home businesses because you have manufacturing and then processing, and there's a lot more that goes on, a lot more square footage involved.
I mean, we can put, I don't want to front load, this may be a deliberation thing, so stop me if you want to. The pretty broad ability to put conditions on this. In fact, I don't think there's any restrictions to the conditions. We can, but it just says we can just put conditions on this. So,
So, well, we can't require that you wear a suit and tie every day, right? But
I mean, there's some level,
Do
right?
you love wearing
Right,
a
like
suit?
maybe the size of the vehicle going in there, you can't
Yeah.
have anything more than.
well, I was
a
thinking,
single
I mean,
aisle.
so where I was heading with this, and I wanted to hear, my question was maybe you've seen this done or heard of it being done, but there's some unknowns here, admittedly. I think he's being pretty honest and forthcoming about, he's trying to figure this out.
Yep.
I'm wondering, I think we're a little bit trying to figure it out too, because like, how do we map the unknowns into the
Yep.
into the things we're supposed to approve? And so I'm wondering if there's a way we can have more of a, like maybe it is conditional use for a year, and then we like revisit
Sunset it
it.
up.
We revisit it or something, and he has like more answers or something like that. So have you seen that?
I haven't seen that aspect, but like you said, I don't know if, I don't see why you couldn't make it valid for just 1 year. That's a condition you could put on.
Would you
there, I
not want that?
suppose.
I would just, this is a discussion, right? We're talking all this out. Okay. So I guess I would wonder, like, what are your, and you can deliberate, you don't have to say this publicly, but like,
Oh, no, it's all public.
What are your, well, I know, but like, what
It's
are
like that's the point. Yeah.
I know, I'm just like, I don't, like,
Yeah.
whatever. Again, first time, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
What are your concerns? I would say if you're going to allow me to start a business and put a year cap on it from a conditional standpoint, like if that's what you do, I'm subject to that. But from like somebody who's trying to put money and effort into something and taking a risk, that's a bit unsettling from my perspective, right? Now, if you want to set conditions on you're only allowed to store so much stuff or have so much traffic or this, and then we revisit it, like that's another thing. But like to set an
So
open,
the list of things that this is also public. So when you say you don't know, it's not actually
first time.
It's actually not like a very credible response, because we're looking at the public ordinances that you can look at, right? So that's why we're asking about these things that may seem a little bit like too nuanced to answer right now.
I guess from my perspective, I'm trying to work with you to do whatever I need to do, right? And figure it out together.
Well, that's
Right. Well, that's what I was proposing.
Yeah.
Just to put,
No, go ahead.
put in perspective, we have had conditional use requests before, not necessarily for a home occupation business, but a couple of them have gone awry. So at least a few of us are experienced with, putting conditions on and then they don't meet them. What do you do?
100%. Yeah. So I'm not trying to be combative. I'm just trying to talk it through. I just like if you're going to start business and, but again, you tell me what you guys need, and that's what we do. I don't want to.
Yeah,
I know.
but the flip to this is that the whole appeal is the burden of proof is on you. So it's not us going to you saying we need this.
Okay,
It's you
cool.
coming
We're-
to us saying this.
Okay, cool.
I'm actually trying to find a way
To help me.
to walk out of here. With something. It's not like I want you to start. Like,
Thank you,
like,
thank you,
it's
thank you.
just we have to go through the
So set a year on it then. Yeah.
yeah. I just didn't know if that's been done or
I don't know.
I'm not even.
I
I wasn't
don't know
even
that
necessarily
that's-
saying that that's the answer. I just like, have you heard of that or?
I haven't, but, setting conditions is a pretty broad,
Yeah. Yeah.
statement that kind of gives you
Yeah.
a lot of leeway that you can.
Like for what it's
Yeah.
worth, like totally get your perspective. Like I wouldn't want like, well, my time's up. My business was sort of working, but I ran the clock out, and now I understand that totally. I'm just, I know the process that we're trying to do, and the and I think your point is like we've put conditions on things, and it's really hard to figure out the surgical, correct condition that's gonna.
I get it.
And
I
then
get it.
whatever condition we put in has to go with how do you comply and how do you enforce? And that comes down to Jason's job. If it's something that's code enforcement related.
I get it all. I'm just sorry. Perhaps I'm being a bit too vulnerable in this situation.
No, I actually think you're being honest about not knowing things that you couldn't possibly know. Then I totally respect that, your answers and your candor there. We're trying to run a process.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak for you, David, but
Yeah,
David's
you're right.
trying to work through things that we need to deliberate on and make sure we have the information.
100%. I think my whole thing is like I understand that there's a process and I respect the process, and I just want to like whatever I can do within the process, right?
Yep. Yep, and I definitely get that. I definitely understand that. So,
And to kind of go to Greg's point is, right now we have the freedom to dialogue. Once we go into deliberations, though, that's it. There is no more back and forth dialogue. And if the decision is favorable for you, yes, there may be some conditions, but if the decision is unfavorable, that means there is no option for a business, and there's no option to I think it's like a minimum year to reapply. Is that-
I mean, I guess baseline, guys. I see an opportunity. I see something really cool. I don't have a ton of money, and I've done a ton of research on what is possible with the state of Maine from a liquor standpoint, what I have available to me, and I'm trying to give it a go. Like with minimal indent into my community.
Yep.
Like I'm not having people come to my house every day to cut my hair, or like, you know, like it's just, it's literally an in and out thing in a very structured way. And if it hits, awesome, you know? And if you need more neighbor approvals, I can get that for you. Everybody's pumped about this. Nobody's being served alcohol. Nobody's being like, we're not talking about massive, like the barn itself. If I filled it with wine, that's like,
yeah,
you know, that's not a crazy amount.
sure. Yeah, I think that we're, you know, obviously the use needs to be lawful, but the alcohol quantities and, you know, specifications are a different licensing process.
Totally, and if they say this is step one, right?
Yeah.
Like if they say
Yeah.
no, they say no.
Yeah.
Which, okay.
So just to clarify, when your vendors come to deliver, scenario is they drive into the second floor level driveway, park vehicle, unload product there, bring it into the garage, either on the second floor down to the first floor, and then leave. Is that correct?
Yeah, if there's the option to have them come through my driveway and not have to go down the stairs, that would also be lovely.
When you say your driveway, or can you clarify?
The driveway that goes to my house and to the bottom floor of the.
Okay, well, it's like two driveways.
Yeah.
There's one at the top.
Yeah, there's
which
one up
actually
top, and then
on
there's
your
yeah.
property.
So if the other one that's more ground level,
Yeah.
that would be great.
You mentioned a couple times about, you know, the progression you would like to see for the business, potentially expanding. Is there a threshold that you think that makes this business sustainable in this accessory unit? Like, is it 2 deliveries a week? Is it 1 a week? Is it 2 a month? Like, just what scale do you have to get to for this to work for you from an economics perspective?
That's a great question. I don't have that mapped out.
Best, I'd strongly encourage
no,
you.
I know. I'm talking it out just like you.
Okay,
did.
yeah,
That's
yeah. Okay, fair.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Again, proof of concept, right? I would say whatever 20% that I'm allowed to use in the building that's deemed by the house or the barn itself or whatever it is, if I can hit that threshold, that's a great business. And that's the max I would do, and then I would move it to. I would look into getting a different area. I mean, I might even look into getting a different area prior to that if sign up rates and sales are going that way.
Can you quantify that in a rate of deliveries?
I know. I didn't answer your question, dude.
I'm just gonna keep. You know.
I don't know. I mean, 200. I don't know. 100 cases a month, 150 cases a month, 200 cases a month.
Okay, 200 cases. Let's go with the largest number.
Sure,
you said.
whatever. Yes. Yeah.
200. Just to help me understand the back of the envelope here on this. That, in your opinion, is how many of your potential delivery vehicles per month? Like how many fit in one delivery vehicle approximately? Is it about? That sounds maybe is 20.
Can I do it?
Yeah.
I just
By all
math
means.
real
Yeah.
quick?
Yeah.
So a pallet of wine. Wine has how many cases? All right, a pallet of wine has 56 cases. So that'd ostensibly be 4 pallets of wine.
Okay, so, and 4 pallets of wine, does one truck handle one pallet or multiple pallets, do you know?
I would assume it would be multiple pallets. The dimensions for a standard US pallet are 40 inches by 48, usually stacked 4 layers high with 14 cases per layer, totaling 56 cases.
56 cases, okay.
Per pallet.
Per pallet. I'm just trying to
Yeah, no
think
worries.
about that
No,
dimension.
Yeah.
if that happened, I'd be a very happy camper. Like very, very happy.
Yeah.
Do you know if the unloading process includes unloading the pallet and then then unloading product on property and then removing the pallet for putting it back on the truck? Any idea?
And from everything that I've seen, it's truck rolls up, the guys pull out however many cases, put it on a dolly, roll it in, and they just keep going.
I was curious that when you're getting ready to do your distributions, do you foresee like a similar process?
100%.
Like stuff on a dolly?
Yep,
Load it back.
all dolly.
So do you think that like one delivery a week is of 56 cases per delivery is approximately what you think the scale you'd need to be at this location?
One delivery a week of 56 cases per distributor, or what do we?
Yeah, good point. I guess you might have 4. If you have 4 distributors, it might be 4 different deliveries.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and then within that, again, just being transparent as we have this conversation, like it could be 3 pallets from one distributor and 1 pallet from another one. Like it's just, you don't know how people are going to order, if that's what it is, or it could be 5 cases from one or 10 cases from another.
Yep.
Also, I know this is weird, just for everybody, for the record. Like I know this is not a normal thing.
I mean, weird's definitely not in the ordinances.
But I just know this is a different thing to comprehend, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Any other final questions? Well, not going to be final at this point, but any more questions for this phase of it? We got to go into public comment, which I think will be pretty quick.
I got one question.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how long does it take how long do you anticipate it taking to unload a delivery?
I think that would depend on the size of said delivery, but 20 minutes maybe. Like,
Okay.
not a. You're talking with like major state delivery or distributors, right? They're not hanging out for a couple hours.
Yep. Okay.
Labor's expensive.
And that's for both delivery to and delivery up.
I would say I'd say delivery to, and then I would say delivery out could be 30 minutes maybe.
So
everything would be sorted ahead of time and then moved accordingly.
and if there's, again, I'm just trying to get the scale. So help me understand let's just work with the working theory that you've got 4 deliveries a week, for instance, from individual distributors. Hopefully it's a lot, and they unload it all. Is the same process out? Would it still be 4 shipments out, or would it be 40 shipments? Okay. Does it break down into individual? Like, is it 1-to-1? Is it 10-to-1?
No, cool. Great question. I would say it would be I would say it would match, actually.
Okay, so it's
To be
approximately.
to be very honest, with the way that the delivery structure is set up, it would be, depending on, like, I'm not going for a huge vehicle or anything. It would be I would say it would be 1-to-1.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have anything you want to add, Jason, that you want us to consider at this point?
Oh, I'm good.
Mr. Kerner, if you want to take a seat, that would be fine. I'm going to open it up to public comment, which I think will go pretty quickly, or you can just stay right there. We'll give opportunity for one last chance to ask you some questions, and then we'll...
I'll just hang here.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So I will go ahead and open public comments. If there is anybody here or on Zoom that would like to speak in favor of this, is there anybody here that would like to speak in favor of this application?
It's Jess's last chance, potentially, to speak as the public.
Yeah, I was gonna look at him too.
Is there anybody here or through Zoom that would like to speak in opposition to this appeal? Finally, is there anybody here or through Zoom that would like to speak from a neutral position in regards to this appeal? I will go ahead and close public comment. Before we go into deliberations, Mr. Kern, if this is your opportunity, if you want to table this to pull together other information for us to consider, or do you want us to?
No, please. Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys have any final questions for Mr. Kern or Jason?
Nope.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and close out this portion of this public hearing anyways. If you want to, you go ahead and sit if you like, Mr. Kern, but we're going to go into deliberations now
Okay.
in regards to this.
Those are private.
Nope.
It's not private, it's all in public, but
Right here.
you won't
Yeah.
you won't have opportunity to.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But you won't have opportunity to speak or interject. Okay. So, just to confirm, ordinances do say that we as the zoning board are allowed to meet and discuss this. So this is LRR1, and section Article 5 for land uses. There is a table under number 19 is home occupations. LRR1, LRR2 says yes, that is something that is allowed. Also has two asterisks. The two asterisks take me to home occupations are those land uses that conform with the requirements of Article A. A home occupation that conforms to Article 9, I should say, and is specifically permitted by Article 11 of the Raymond Land Use Ordinance shall be considered a permitted use in LRR1 and 2 districts. All other home occupations not specifically listed in the definitions of home occupations in Article 12 of the Raymond Land Use Ordinance shall be considered conditional uses and must conform to the standards set forth in Article 9, 300-9-2 or .2 of the Raymond Land Use Ordinance, and must be reviewed and approved by the Appeals Board. So if I go to Article 12 and look for conditional use, where is it? Had it mapped out at one point. Home occupations. Home occupation is an occupation or profession that is customarily carried on in a dwelling unit and clearly incidental and secondary to the use of the dwelling unit for residential purposes. A home occupation must conform to the standards set forth in Article 9 of this chapter. Example conditions. The following are examples of permitted uses under this definition: beauty shop, arts and crafts studio or shop, professional office, woodworking, daycare center, seamstress, or tailor, or small engine repair excluding motorized vehicles such as mopeds, motorcycles, ATVs, and snowmobiles. No retail sales of repaired goods shall be permitted, and the following uses are specifically prohibited as a home occupation: auto repair and auto body repair. So in reading that, I say that the proposed use is not defined as a permitted use, nor is it defined as a restricted use. Therefore, it can be considered a conditional use. Are we all in agreement with that?
Yep.
So that then takes us to land use ordinance, chapter 300, article 9, minimum standards, section 300-9.1, which is starts off, I'll just start off reading it. We'll get to the details in a minute. The Board of Appeals shall approve, deny, or approve with conditions all applications for a conditional use permit. The applicant shall have the burden of proving his or her application is in compliance with the requirements of this chapter. After the submission of complete application, the Board of Appeals shall approve an application or approve it with conditions if it makes a positive finding based on the information presented that the proposed use, and then there are A to J conditions to review. And then subsequent to that, because this is a home occupation and per the ordinance, we also have to look at chapter 300 of the land use ordinance, article 9, minimum standards, 300-9.2, home occupations, for which there are 6 conditions we also need to be met. So, similar to what we've done in the past, I believe the best thing to do is just go down through each one, talk out loud, and see where we're at with each one. So I'll go back to 300-9.1, letter A. Will not depart from the general purpose and intent of this chapter, nor from the town's comprehensive plan. I'm a little weak on the comprehensive plan, or do you believe, Jason, from your understanding of it, that we're...
I'm not. I get conflicting signals from people what the comprehensive plan says on stuff like this. As far as I know, people in some respects, are afraid of commercial moving outside of traditional districts. This is LRR, so it is residential and recreation. So whether this falls into something along the lines of recreation adjacent, have to do with the recreation, that's an argument that I don't fall on either side on. But I don't think it's anything that is, there's going to be no outdoor signage. And I think the applicant kind of has stressed that, it wants to melt away into the background, so to speak. He's not trying to, like I said, no signage, no on-site consumption. So, by and large, I think that it conforms in that aspect as it's trying to maintain its underlying zoning, but conduct this, within that, but in a manner that's not, neon lights, so to speak.
If I look at the definition of home occupation and the examples that are permitted, it doesn't seem to fall outside the scope of what's listed there. Beauty shop, arts and crafts shop, studio, professional office, woodworking, daycare center, seamstress, tailor, small engine repair. It seems to fall in the vein of that. So I guess we will sort of do any more. I'm going to kind of just take an informal vote on each one of these. Do we feel does this application meet or not meet the criteria? I'll phrase it as meet, but I personally, I feel that this would meet the criteria based on what we have.
I'm good with that. Yeah.
Good with that.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and do an actual vote. Just it'll be kind of like an actual racing,
Straw vote.
yeah, straw vote, yeah. So, straw vote, those, and feeling that, letter A is satisfied.
Satisfied.
Okay, will be compatible with permitted uses within the zone as determined by population density, design, scale, and bulk of any proposed new structures and intensity of use. So there are new structures. Intensity of use is what do we say? Up to how many deliveries per week? Is it 4?
I mean,
Roughly 4 in, roughly 4
yeah.
out.
I think it's 4 in, 4 out is probably pretty good scale. If it's 56 cases,
Yep.
just kind of, yeah.
So in terms of that definition, it doesn't seem to be excessively intense.
No,
Okay.
it's less than a delivery a day.
So all those believing that letter B is satisfied. Yes.
Yeah.
Will not generate noise, vibrations, fumes, odors, and dust and glare, which is detectable at the lot boundaries, and all aspects of the conditional use will be carried on within the structure. Outdoor sales and services may take place outside of a structure as long as all other applicable sections of the chapter can be met, and the use does not generate noise, vibrations, fumes, odors, dust, or glare that are detectable at the lot boundaries. So outdoor sales and services are non-issued as part of this. So question is, we got to look at generate noise, vibrations, fumes, odors, dust, or glare, which is detectable at the lot boundaries, or more importantly to me, all aspects of the conditional use will be carried on within the structure. It was indicated that the deliveries will be outside the structure. They'll be unloaded outside, transported in, and transported out and delivered or loaded into the vehicle. 20 minutes roughly unloads, 30 minutes roughly loading into vehicle. And to me, that's an aspect of this which it's not contained within the structure. He indicated that the vehicles will not be driving into the structure for unload or loading purposes. So at this point, I'm leaning that this does not satisfy the criteria.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think it's there has to be some base non-zero amount of allowed. Okay.
Well, in C, it does say outdoor sales and service may take place outside of a structure as long as all other applicable sections of the chapter can be met. So it sounds like they do allow for a little something going outdoor, as long as everything else,
Yeah. And Chris said himself, like, it's like if you got a lot, let's just say it's Christmas every you've got a lot of deliveries coming. I don't think it's like I don't get the sense that it's
And I imagine generally these boxes, they probably have a webbing inside that keeps the clanking to a minimum.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's it. The ordinance is written as all aspects will be carried on within the structure, but you're going to have 4 times a week where a vehicle is going to come up, park, unload, then turn around, take off, and then another 4 times a week where product is coming out of the building, getting loaded up, and it's a clear visible indicator that this is not a residential activity. This is a commercial activity taking place in a residential zone.
I would assume any distributor has a box truck, has signage all over it. Nappy distributors or whoever else it is. Usually they have beer logos or something all over the exterior of the truck, if that's objectionable.
I will just pause for a second, and then if we will pause on this letter C, but if we jump ahead to home occupations, 300-9.2A says the home occupation shall be carried on wholly within the dwelling or the accessory structure. So we've got two we really need to consider. You know, I'm not saying that right now we straw vote on A of 300-9-2, but there's two areas here where it's saying this has got to be happening inside, wholly within.
But if you take it to that extreme, like you couldn't have an employee drive and park and get out of the vehicle and cough, or like it's just not like I think it like I read that to be the occupation here is him running the business, you know, putting together packages to deliver, taking orders, working on his website, those types of, that's the occupation. The supplies coming into the structure isn't really what he's going to be doing. That's sort of no different than an employee showing up for work and slamming their car door. I mean, noise, you couldn't have, if you take that interpretation, David, you couldn't have any occupant. Any occupation is going to create some non-zero noise outside the structure.
Well, I'm not even focusing on the noise. I'm just focusing on there's business activity happening for, 20 times 4, 80 minutes plus another 2 hours. So 3 hours a week, there's commercial business activity happening outside of the property.
But it doesn't say activity. It's generate noise, vibrations, fumes, odors, dust, glare. It's very specific, right?
But I'm focusing on the second part of the sentence. All aspects of the conditional use will be carried on within the structure. That is not happening. There is up to 3 hours a week of the conditional use happening outside of the structure. That's kind of what I'm hung up on.
Right, but I think also, to Greg's point, if you look at the examples of things that are acceptable, I mean, all of those types of businesses are going to have something similar outside of the dwellings.
Yeah, name a business that doesn't
I think
get
that's why I
paper-
think we have to look beyond that.
Yeah, name a business that doesn't get paper delivered
I mean,
print
woodworking,
as a supply.
you can have
Yeah.
Hancock
Like,
lumber
I
trucks.
just,
I mean,
But those are also in commercial zones. I mean, we have to focus on the fact that this is a residential community.
well, one of the examples was a woodworking shop,
Mhm.
right? So in a residential area, in a
Yeah.
home,
I just
They
think
have
home
lumber
occupations
delivered
have to have supplies.
somehow.
How about we skip C for the moment?
Okay, it seems to be it.
Okay.
D, will not cause water pollution, sedimentation, erosion, contaminate any water supply, nor reduce the capacity of the land to hold water so that a dangerous or unhealthy condition may result. I am good with that, but I would want a condition that ensures that, any product, I mean, like I said, there's no drains in that place. If anything leaks, I would want,
Some kind of containment.
some aspect that could confirm containment, some sort of condition. But, I mean, for the most part, I agree with this, but the fact that it's not handling any sort of
Yeah, I don't know. Some of this stuff, I think this is where you're going with like, hey, you drop something, you got to clean it up. Where does it go? I think that's a reasonable concern. This is what I was trying is like, what's the condition that they can't expect every person starting a small business to have every answer, and this one's laid out, so like there maybe is a higher burden on that one for sure. But I think that, if we can condition around that, and he's already offering to provide annual reports to, I don't, but that's above and beyond what's needed. I just don't know. It's not like you can revoke the conditional use. So I'm not sure if that does a whole lot.
Right, I mean, can it just have a condition that any spill has to be contained within the building by, a passive means, basically. You don't need someone actively there, but If there's a spill, it spills and it's contained within,
Yeah.
that would just be my suggestion.
Okay, I like that wording.
Yeah.
But I think you're right.
So, straw poll that D can be satisfied with a condition regarding containment of any spills. You feel good with that?
Yeah.
Tom, how do you feel? You good?
I think so.
E, will not adversely impact any deer wintering area or other important plant or wildlife habitat or scenic area, such as views of Sebago Lake or mountains from public places. I see no indication that E would not be satisfied. I'm good with E. I feel that E is satisfied.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Will not deny light and air to surrounding properties. Yeah, it's not going to do that. So.
Good on that one.
Yeah. Will not depreciate the economic value of surrounding properties.
I'm good on that one.
I'm good on that one too.
Well, I still am very much hung up on the delivery trucks. I mean, it's clear evidence that there is a commercial operation happening. It's not driving into the building. It's not being concealed. It's parking out there. Deliveries are coming in and out. I don't know.
Is it like in your mind, not that you maybe you don't know this, but like, is it the magnitude of the deliveries, or is it the fact that is there any magnitude at which your threshold, what's your threshold of deliveries that wouldn't bother you? And is there any, maybe?
Yeah, it's the fact that the deliveries are happening outside.
How do you deliver inside?
You drive up to the garage door, if you can put it right up against the door and all the delivery, somebody's inside.
Okay, so it's the physical act of taking it out of the back of the truck, walking it to the.
Yeah, I mean, it's a commercial activity that's happening outside of the building.
I get deliveries all the time and they look like that, and it's not a commercial. It's not by itself a commercial activity.
But this is a home occupation, though.
So that would be a commercial activity.
Right, but in this context, I think you're talking about depreciating the economic value. So, at home, if I happen to buy a lot of wine, it's going to be delivered in the same manner. I think
in cases of wine.
Well, it's still going to be delivered. I mean,
You have a
that's
box
why.
truck?
It could be.
But hold on, that's why I asked the threshold, because I actually think that it matters. Like it's if you're saying that like any delivery to satisfy the needs of a commercial or of a home occupation in itself violates G, then that's a really, really high bar for anybody trying to do a home occupation. I think that's like a really bad interpretation of the ordinances. Like, I don't see how any home occupation could ever be conditionally approved if the threshold is 0.
Mm-hmm.
That's my counterpoint.
What's the other couple of allowed home occupations? Like, what was it, beauty shop or something?
Oh, let's find out.
Yeah.
Arts and crafts, beauty shop,
Yeah.
professional office, woodworking.
Yeah,
Daycare
beauty
center.
shop, yep, arts and crafts, professional office, woodworking, daycare center, seamstress or tailor, or small engine repair.
I mean, just think about it with a daycare center. You've got parents showing up at least twice a day, dropping kids off, picking kids up. I mean,
I think-
I'd see that even more disruptive than
I think
some
David's
d-
point
delivery
is, the delivery box trucks that are plastered with alcohol on the side of it, versus somebody's delivering beauty supplies or Hancock lumber or
There's
whatever.
nothing in here that says you can't have something on the side of your truck.
I'm just seeing David's point.
No. What is the point? I actually don't. I actually like is the point that like a truck with like a brand on the side of it depreciates the economic value of surrounding properties? Is that what we're?
I don't think so.
I'm just trying to understand like
Yeah, we
what
can.
it is.
So we can probably disconnect from the G, the C. So I'm okay, straw voting this as okay. It's just, for me, there's just, yeah. And we don't have to discuss it for G. I'm okay with straw voting this as not depreciate the economic value. Everybody
Where are
else?
you at on that, Tom?
Yeah.
I guess this would be my suggestion. As Chris mentioned, they're having their road association annual meeting in a few weeks. Get them to vote that they have no objections to this home business. Is that?
That's a civil issue.
It's not. They don't have any authority over like. That's. I don't love that.
They want, yeah.
Homeowners associations.
So in
No
terms of the
standing.
road, I agree. They probably have some level of saying whether or not we approve or disapprove of regular delivery for commercial purposes. But in terms of what we're doing, that's civil and wouldn't apply. At least I don't believe it would apply to us, right?
No, I think what Tom's kind of driving at is whether the neighbors think that it'll affect their property value.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I get. I see what you said. That is a fair point, given that it is.
I mean, there's a lot of neighbors on that road. We all drove in there except for Greg, so there's a ton of neighbors. So I don't.
I just like it's.
But
it's his
I get
private,
the point
yeah.
that, UPS, FedEx, all these
It's
guys
private property.
come
Like,
in.
He owns the property. He actually owns the road too. I mean, like, he's equal rights to use the road. Like, why would we defer the decision of the ordinances? Our sole mandate is to interpret the ordinances. I just don't understand why the HOA would be involved in this at all. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they have covenants.
I think if they cared about it, this was the time for them to come and speak. This is literally why we have hearings. So I would suggest that if you're watching this ex post facto, like, come to the meetings.
I am okay with straw voting yes to G. Will not depreciate. Everybody else, how do they feel? What do you think, Don? Yes?
No.
No, okay.
I don't know if I made it clear, but I'm okay with G.
I'm okay with G.
Will have sufficient potable water available for its needs. Not gonna have any available potable water.
So in order to satisfy this one to some extent, can we put a condition on that the homeowner's dwelling will be available for needs of potable water?
I don't see how you can, because the home occupation can only be carried on in the dwelling or the accessory structure. It's one or the other.
I hate to say that porta potty was an option. That's not exactly not inside the building.
I was going to say that would be an exterior.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't say
something that
bathroom, it says potable water, so a Poland Springs jug, does that
Yeah.
satisfy
Yeah.
potable water?
But what about the ability
way
to
it
like,
does.
wash your hands and clean up
Right.
after a spill or just
No,
clean up
no,
in
yeah.
general? You know.
I think it's a question of needs. I think it's largely a storage use. His business sounds like it has the needs to store inventory. I think it doesn't have. I think water needs are probably de minimis at best. That would be my view on it, but I don't know if needs require bathroom facilities and hand washing. I mean, those are like if you're preparing food, those are your needs, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, if you're running a business, you've got a minimum 2 employees who are there for X number of hours. I'm not necessarily referring to the bathroom needs, but I mean, you gotta be able to wash your hands. You gotta be able to get a drink of water.
Well, he can go home.
He can walk to his own house, but his employees, no,
Why not?
because the home occupation has to be either within the dwelling or the accessory. It's not part, it can't be both.
Well, as far as drinking water, I mean, most people bring their drinking water with them wherever they go nowadays. I mean, so I don't see that as being a big issue. And then there's all kinds of hand sanitization liquids that are available if somebody has to wash their hands and sanitize their hands. I mean, those are widely used as well. I don't see this one as really being something that holds it up.
Yeah, I think it's the needs part for me. I think that's what you're saying too, Pete, right? Like, what are your actual needs versus hypothetical needs, and maybe we have a condition on that, so that
They have to clock out and then use the bathroom?
the clock out, use the bath. Well, no, I just meant that, like, you can't expand to needs that would require potable water because you don't have, or you need.
They have to add a bathroom.
Yeah, you have to add a bathroom.
Yeah, and I'm not advocating that they have to have a bathroom, but I
Yep.
am advocating that they need the ability to wash
Yeah.
their hands and have something to drink available to them.
So,
I mean, I guess a charged hose could be on hand too.
Does charge hose potable water?
No, but for cleanup purposes. I know.
So it could be potable water, actually, right?
yeah, I think a hose would satisfy that. Mine comes from my well.
Yeah, I straw vote on this. I do not believe this need is met. I don't know about the rest of you.
Which need do you think that is needed for the home occupation? Are we talking about just generic like potential future home occupations?
He's going to have up to 4 employees in this
Yeah.
building working. They need the ability to wash up. They need the ability to wash their hands. They need to.
Well, only if they have a bathroom, right?
I'm not expecting them to have a bathroom.
So what do they need to wash their hands for?
It's going to be dirty work if there's a spill, if there's cleanup that needs to be done. This is a warehouse. It's not going to be spick and span, nor should it be expected to be spick and span.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm like sufficient potable water. Seems like a condition we could put on that.
He already said he's not going to put any.
Well, I bet if we put a condition, he'd put one on.
He already said no.
I struggle with this one because I've had plenty of
So
jobs.
I guess we can give him that
where I've had a place to work,
option.
so.
I mean, but if the consensus is that you have that washing your hands is a requirement for every business, which I'm not necessarily sure is entirely unreasonable, I guess the choice would be have a way to wash your hands or find a different location. Like I don't want to speak for people, but I mean.
So I am no. You're a yes with condition. Is that
Yeah, I'm a maybe.
maybe?
I think that depends on what we could come up with for a condition. I don't know if it, like, I'd love to hear Jason's thoughts on conditions. So, like, I could get there for sure. Like, it's probably not 0 to your point. I think your point is, like, just as my point is, like, businesses don't, all businesses produce some noise. Like, the requirement is probably non-zero for water, like the needs. Like, I don't know, but like I can see that, but I just think that we could maybe condition around it. I don't know. So, Tom,
seeing we heard that there was not going to be any environmental controls in this garage storage area, water freezes. So I'm not sure exactly what the answer is here, you know.
Well, it could be a tank of water. I mean, you could fill up a tank, literally a tank of water would do
Yeah,
it,
they
right?
freeze.
Yeah,
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 yeah, that's,
yeah. But like if you have environmental controls, I think
Right,
you're saying.
exactly.
With the environmental control.
yeah. And if you had environmental controls,
Yeah.
you could actually pipe water to the thing if you needed it. I mean, it's not that difficult to run a pipe X number of feet down and out, but
Yeah.
I guess when you talk about water and other things, it just brings up to me the issue that we haven't seen the fire department's report. I don't, is he gonna lay on, you know, fire suppression systems or other things that we haven't even considered?
Right.
We almost always condition that, though, it seems like.
Yeah, see,
Right? Like, isn't that always like,
So I agree. I think I hear what you're saying, Tom. As we go through this and even, you know, reviewing more of this, I'm probably going to lean towards that, that we table this until we get the actual report to review it. That's kind of where I personally am leaning. Because you're right, Greg, we do typically condition it with an approved report, but I feel like there's some aspects to that report which bear out to what we're talking through tonight.
He was at the site walk and he had a lot of inputs and questions and
Wayne?
so, well,
Yeah.
so,
Man.
All right, let's hold on H. We're holding on C, we're holding on H. Does that seem reasonable?
Okay, but just for the record, I want to say I'm a yes for H.
Or we can vote. I'm going to be a no.
Yes. I've moved to yes. Pete's compelled me.
and I say no until we see the fire department report.
So
Is that,
then we get to-
are you thinking the water, is that where you're connecting to the fire suppression?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
he may have concerns.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair
He may
point. Like, there
have
might be a
concerns about
need.
wine leakage.
Yeah, I
I
suppose.
don't know.
Yeah, that's a
He
fair
had a
point.
lot of questions and so I'm sure he goes in and looks at the electrical and all the other things that we didn't look at and our code inspector wasn't there to check the electrical and all that other
Yeah,
stuff.
sorry, my wife was in a serious accident. I was picking her up from the ER.
Yep.
That's,
Yep.
it seems like a reasonable, we're going to let it slide, Jason.
Thanks.
I hope everything's okay.
It is, thank God.
I will not create a hazard to either pedestrian or vehicular traffic on the road, sidewalks serving the proposed use as determined by the size, condition of the roads and sidewalks, lighting and drainage, intensity of use, both by pedestrians and also by vehicles, and visibility afforded to pedestrians and the operators of motor vehicles. And this is probably a good one to kind of see the report on. My biggest concern here is that vehicle delivery may require cars parking on the road, and that was a narrow road. I mean, it was basically, well, I guess in my opinion, a car and a half width, not your typical width road. So that's my biggest concern with this one, is that days of delivery to potential for not 100% knowing the size of the delivery vehicles, what this is going to look like.
Yeah, I'm not sure, when I drove down there, that I actually saw many places you could pull off to the side to let a big truck come through or
Yeah.
two cars pass. I don't know how it works, but it was a narrow camp road, so.
Yeah, and it was kind of extended, Greg. It was like the road, you had to come down here, and part of it goes down here, I think, and then goes down to here, as was here, and that was a dead end here. So there's a bit of a way to get there, that's all.
Do you guys, and again, do you guys think, I'd have to defer to your visual, this is helpful, but like the parking spaces, if we were to say, you know, deliveries need to be fully contained inside the you know, parking area, is that possible? Like, is it like, I don't want to say, oh, don't worry, it's just parking spaces if it's not possible. But did you get the sense that there was space there to do deliveries?
I would think that if a box truck figures out how to back down the angular driveway and get off the road, it would be fine.
It would be possible.
I think so. But
It's not like there's no physics. He doesn't need to defy the laws of physics to get like a.
No, it's not going over a cliff
Yeah.
to get there or something.
Yeah.
But Tom's right. I mean, you can see it. I mean, it's an angular, so it's,
But I'm talking about the road itself,
oh, and even,
coming in and out.
I gotcha,
mean,
yeah.
you know, I mean, I live on a little camp road, and we have places to pull out, get off. Okay, let the Hancock truck come through and deliver his stuff.
right,
And then
right.
Yeah,
I don't remember looking for that when we drove in there.
Yeah, so I mean, if you do, like look at the tax map, it shows the road coming through. This is Chris's property here.
Yep.
You go by, there's like a four-way intersection up here.
It
If
actually
somebody had
goes-
to turn around.
Goes all the way down there.
Looks like it does.
I don't know. I stopped up here.
Goes to dead end.
Yeah, I stopped up here, and I thought it was a dead end, and I turned around.
Yeah,
Unless
I
it's
did the
just
same
a-
thing as Tom.
But walking path.
Is it just a
I
walking path?
don't know.
Okay, you can't tell from the tax map, but,
Yeah, it might be the right of way to the water for the rest of these people that don't have.
Because I drove up that way, Pete, thinking I could get out that way, and I couldn't.
couldn't get out that way.
Yeah, I'd probably abstain on this one, and I don't think I have enough information to fully understand it. I mean, my hunch is that if we started restricting people based off from rural roads in Maine, would be it'd be pretty tough for anybody, but
Right. That's
but
actually,
there are definitely roads that would not satisfy I-2, or I think it's sort of a judgment call, and I wasn't there, so.
yeah, it's tough. I mean, that's one of the things I do part-time is deliveries. And I go down into places like this all the time.
Oh, well, there you have it.
And you find a way.
Yeah, okay. Then I'm
I go down
actually
with a
probably-
truck and a trailer. So
So then I'm, if that's Pete's opinion.
you have to make the delivery somehow.
So I get that you make the way. Do you?
Not always easy, David.
That's
no.
what I'm wondering.
But
yeah.
you're not driving a box truck,
No, I'm driving a truck with a trailer.
Yeah.
A 14-foot trailer,
Yeah.
Mm,
and no visibility.
yeah.
Probably shouldn't be doing it.
You haven't been ticketed.
This is just-
You haven't been ticketed
This is
yet.
on the record.
Right. I think I've said too much already.
Oh, boy.
I
was Pete
defer to the
Lockwood's
expert delivery truck driver on this one.
Well, I mean, I hear what Pete's saying, but I also hear him say it's not easy. I just, does that not easy aspect of it create any sort of hazard to pedestrians or?
Yeah, this would just be adding more traffic to the
Yeah.
road side.
Well, the thing is, we haven't, I mean, the size could be up to a box truck size that would deliver, appliances, that sort of size, so. I don't know, I feel like I don't feel like I'm leaning towards it could create a hazard, especially if cars have to come out of the driveway, park on the road in order for the truck to get in.
Yeah, man, it's sort of a judgment call for sure.
Yep.
The other side of it is if this was like, on a road improved, we'd be talking about whether it's a hazard because you're pulling out into it or your traffic or, and
Yeah,
so
no, it's-
all roads are hazard. I think it's an
No.
implied attribute of roads.
Yeah, but to clarify, I mean, it wasn't, to me, I'm focusing on, it was a narrowish road.
Yeah, I
Sometimes,
wasn't there, yeah.
sometimes paved, sometimes not paved. What's this gonna look like in the spring when it's mud?
Yeah.
In the winter when there's snow? To me, this one's,
That's true. Add snowbanks to the equation, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't get a delivery guy to deliver it, the conditional use is probably going to
Turn around.
It's like, I don't know how well the business is going to work, but I think he's going to need the deliveries.
Yeah, well, it's not so much the deliverer, the deliverer of the product, it's the people that live on the road trying to also navigate it, you know?
Yep.
So I am leaning more towards this is not satisfied, personally. I'm going to say that this does create a hazard, so I'm going to say this is a no for me. Or do we want to pause on the straw vote? Or do you guys want to straw vote this one?
We can strive out it.
I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say yes.
I'm yes on I.
I'm going to say no, because I want to hear the fire truck situation.
Yeah,
That's a
that
big
part I do
vehicle
agree
that
as
has
well.
to get in and out.
Yeah,
That's reasonable.
I do
Yeah.
agree with you, Tom. And then this follows the same thing. Will not overburden police, fire, and rescue services as determined by response time, accessibility to the proposed use, and number of types of emergency personnel and equipment presently serving the community. All conditional use applications shall be reviewed and approved by a fire rescue department for compliance with applicable fire and life safety codes and ordinances. This one's still an open issue, so we can't do anything with this.
No, we definitely need to hear from Wayne on this one.
Okay, moving on to 300 land use, Article 9 minimum standards, 9.2 home occupations. A, the home occupation shall be carried on wholly within the dwelling or the accessory structure. So the or aspect of it's been decided. He's indicated that the home occupation will be within the accessory structure. Now the question is whether it will be wholly within the dwelling or the, I guess you could just say it's going to be one or the other. If that's the case, then I could say this one passes. And I can take up all aspects under 9.1.c. So I guess how do you guys look at this? Is this saying that it's got to be one or the other? It's going to be either, you can't split it across multiple
I think you can
aspects?
split it, personally.
Well, it says or.
Yeah. But
Carried on wholly within dwelling
it doesn't say,
or
it doesn't
accessory.
say within exclusively the dwelling or exclusively the, you just need to be in one or the other.
Right, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. The dwelling or the accessory structure.
Yeah.
And he said that it's going to be in the accessory structure. I think we're in agreement, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying the way
Oh,
that
okay.
says you can use either. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
It's like, I don't think we're in disagreement.
No. Yeah, like you can use either.
Yeah. Would you guys agree with that, or do you see it as different?
No, I think I'm going to agree with that.
Okay. So this one's, I'm going to say is,
2 hours in.
I'm kind of implied to think that it includes both. The way that it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, it can be in one,
Right.
yes, okay.
Not one or
He
the
can-
other. It could be both.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, he can have his home occupation, I don't want to say it like this. A home occupation is allowed in a dwelling. A home occupation is allowed in an accessory structure. But it can either be one or the other. It says wholly within the dwelling or the accessory structure.
Yeah.
Is it an and/or?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the dwelling or the
You think
accessory
it's like
structure.
an
not sure
exclusive
that-
or?
Yeah,
No.
wholly
That
within.
would've- that
It says
would've-
wholly within.
No.
I don't feel like that was the
No,
intent.
I don't think that's what
Yeah.
that means.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so, David.
I have to agree with Greg on this one.
Got Tom on my side.
Ultimately, it doesn't matter though, right? Because it's going to be,
Yeah.
We're
It's-
2 hours in. Can I have a break?
yes.
Oh, biological.
So
Yeah.
let's do this.
I'm just,
I
I
don't know how
just,
many hours we're going to go in.
Yeah, can we take a 5-minute break, whoever's in charge of IT here?
Hey, all set.
Thank you so much. So we are back after taking a 5-minute break. Currently reviewing Chapter 300 of the Land Use Ordinance, Article 9, Minimum Standards, 9.2, Home Occupations, Letter A. Home occupation shall be carried on wholly within the dwelling or the accessory structure. Some debate as to what the or is, but considering that we were told it was going to be 100% within the accessory structure, we don't have to solve the debate on the or. At least that's what I'd be.
I think that's a fair interpretation.
Yeah.
David.
So, I believe this one, we're satisfied here. B, the home occupation shall be carried on primarily by a member or members of the family residing in the dwelling unit. No more than 2 persons who are not family members residing in the dwelling unit shall be employed. It's, Mr. Curran is definitely a member of, well, he resides in that dwelling unit, so that's met. He's indicated no more than 2 people will be hired, so that has been met. At least that's my understanding of it. If you guys feel otherwise, just let me know.
Okay.
There will be no exterior display or exterior sign except as expressly permitted by district regulations in this chapter. No exterior storage of materials, no other exterior indication of a home occupation or a variation of the residential character of the principal building. So he's indicated everything will be inside, waste, trash removal. It's not, no trash will be outside. I didn't hear anything or read anything that would indicate that this is not going to be met.
Yep.
Objectionable conditions such as noise, vibration, smoke, dust, electrical disturbance, odors, heat, and glare and activity at reasonable hours shall not be permitted. He's already indicated this will be done Monday to Friday through normal, business hours, so I don't see that there's anything there that we need to be concerned with. I believe this to be met. In addition to the off-street parking provided to meet the normal requirements of the dwelling, adequate off-street parking shall be provided for the vehicles of each employee and the vehicles of the maximum number of users the home occupation may attract during peak operation hours. This one, I'm not 100% sure on. I know our ordinances say, and Jason, you can confirm, he needs to have 2 spots for the dwelling, personal for the dwelling unit itself.
2 spots per lot. I mean, technically, he could, if he's got another spot within 300 feet to park the cars. So if that adjacent lot had 4 spaces, he could say all the residential lots are on that other lot, technically, and then that gives him a little leeway there. So there is a provision for some off-site parking to meet that requirement. Whether you want to entertain that in your calculations there, or you want to hold them to the, I think that's going to be up to the board to decide. Just because it's, it's up above and beyond what is going on there. So I would say it gives you a little bit of flexibility there, whether you want to say he can satisfy his residential parking on the other lots, it's close enough, and that's separate from the conditional use, or hold them to the 5 or 4 lots.
So my biggest concern with the lot on the side is I understand that it's owned by him.
Yep.
But there is, to access that down below, he's got to cross a driveway which is on the other property. And again, if we grant the conditional use, I don't know how I feel about granting conditional use that requires the use of another property in conjunction.
Right, no, yeah, no,
And
that's
for
valid.
Jason's benefit and Greg's, the other small property and
Doesn't have much parking.
is a rental.
Oh,
So you have added car or 2 or
so
whatever for that,
that kind of.
coming in the same driveway.
Yeah.
So,
That's right, I'd forgotten, you're right, it was a rental.
and there wasn't
Concerned
much
about-
property left that wasn't
Yeah.
paved already, so.
I mean, it looks, on Google Earth, looks like he's probably got a 28 by 28 parking area there, something like that.
Yeah, it definitely, it comfortably sat, I believe, a 3-car width.
3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was a non-issue. And the garage upstairs supported 2 vehicles, standard garage doors to get in and out.
Yep.
So is 3 enough, or you think there's more? Or?
If you do 2 in the garage, then it gets back to the mixed use of the building, kind of.
Yeah, but he said it, there's that, thanks for bringing that one up. Yeah.
Mhm.
Potential mixed use of the garage, because it becomes them both personal, and that's probably a topic for another time. But it's, if the personal vehicles are parked in the garage, then the accessory structure then becomes both a personal use and a home occupation use. So now it's not a full 100% devoted, just something to consider, that's all, I guess. And my other thing is, he's got the delivery vehicle, so we need to account for that separate, because that's part of the business.
Right.
He's got 2 employees, so that's the full suite of 5. And then I know there's not going to be clients coming to him for purchase, but he's got customers that are going to be coming in delivering, and there's no spot for any delivery vehicles. And I don't know if this is, in my opinion, it says adequate off-street parking shall be provided for the vehicles of each employee, in addition to the off-street parking provided to meet the normal requirements of the dwelling, which is 2. Adequate off-street parking shall be provided for the vehicles of each employee, which would be 2, so that's 4, and the vehicles of the maximum number of users of the home occupation that may attract during peak hours. So, in my opinion, you got to consider, 1, he's got a business vehicle. How does that fit into the equation? And then I believe that users of this home occupation would include delivery vehicles. I mean, they're making use of that business.
I think they're the user that's going to be driving in and out of there, other than the owner.
Yeah, Tim.
Right.
Right.
I think
So you don't see that the delivery, the vehicles that come, the delivery trucks themselves would be considered users of the home occupation?
Oh, I think they're temporary, like they come in, they make the delivery, and then they
talking
leave. I also feel that similarly, as far as the employees, it doesn't sound like the employees are going to be coming there, parking for the day and working. They're going to be coming in, picking up a delivery, and then leaving.
Right, and I get that, but
Yeah.
I read this to say we need to at least account for the fact of a full house. You know, a full, we can't just assume, and like in the case of a daycare, like, there's gonna be vehicles coming and going, so
Right.
they need to allot for X number of spaces to drop off their kids. Does this not mean they need to allow for X number of spaces for vehicles to come and deliver product? You know, to me, that's the delivery vehicles are a user of the home occupation. They're not necessarily they're not making purchases of, but they're definitely receiving money from for service to.
I don't know. I don't think delivery vehicles are parked in that sense.
They would be for.
And I think they're double.
20
I think
minutes a
they're
day.
double parked, and like there's no parking spot for a delivery vehicle. Like I certainly don't have like a dedicated parking spot for delivery vehicles.
So that means they're gonna have to park on the road, which could be a traffic
No,
hazard.
I'm just saying you don't need to have a dedicated spot for them.
But they're not gonna, and I'm okay with that,
Yeah.
but then we have to consider, okay, there's no place for them to park, so it's gonna have to be on the road.
No,
The
they can
delivery
stop, unload, and leave. I think that this is saying, in addition.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I agree, I can agree with that, what
Okay.
you're saying. However, if we say that E is met, then we have to account for the fact that we've got a full driveway, a delivery vehicle's coming up, they got nowhere to go, so they're gonna have to park on the road for purposes of loading and unloading.
How many? So I'm losing track of the parking spots. So there's 2 that are required for the dwelling, right?
Yep.
So there's
Yeah.
1 parking spot left. Is that a fair just way to look
It
at it?
depends if you want to consider the garage 2 parking spaces. You might have to make,
Oh, so there's actually 5 parking spots.
are you going to consider the garage 2 parking spaces?
Oh, yeah, in my calculation, just to be clear, I'm viewing 2 in the garage
Okay.
and 3 in the driveway. For purposes of the discussion, I'm gonna say the 2 that are in the garage, let's just say those are the 2 employees, make it easier.
Yeah.
The 2 employees park in the garage,
And you're only talking the upper level, right? You're not talking about
Correct.
the driveway that goes down to the lower level.
right? And I mean, obviously, we need to consider that, but again, I'm concerned about you have to use that
the driveway on the other property to get there, and I'm not comfortable with satisfying the home occupation with another property. That's just me personally. So two employees in the garage, 2 homeowners in the driveway, then you have to account for the delivery vehicle. So that's 5. So on a full day, there's nowhere for a delivery truck, one that's coming to bring product to go. It has to park on the road.
Wait,
Which is pretty narrow, and he'd be blocking traffic for the
Right.
entire
he
time.
has
he's-
5
he's
parking
unloading.
spots. There's just like no possible way that's not enough. Like what, like how, where, like I feel like you had kind of delivery twice.
No, he's got his own,
Okay.
the company's got a vehicle, the company vehicle,
Why is there a company vehicle?
because
It's
he has a delivery vehicle.
I think it's his
It's
personal.
his truck. He just said it was his Acura MDX or whatever.
I know, but that's a part of the business, though, right? It's not.
No, that's his personal. Like the same spot that's the dwelling, the requirement for the dwelling. If he uses that to make deliveries, I think that counts. That satisfies the company vehicle and his personal use. Like
It's no longer a personal vehicle at that point. Now it's a company vehicle. I can't.
no, it can. It certainly can. Like you a bit like the way IRS would look at it is it depends on how much you use it. Like you can have a vehicle that's registered to your person that is used for company use that you can write off for taxes and stuff like that. Like it depends on what the intent of when you drive it. It becomes a company use or it becomes personal use.
But he's saying the vehicle's going to be licensed by the state of Maine, right? So that's not just, that's something more.
Well, that's a state of Maine question. I mean, if the state of Maine doesn't want to give him, a license for his
Where's Acura?
Acura, that's not really our purview.
Right.
Well, I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying that it's a licensed vehicle by the state of Maine. That gives it even more distinction as being a company vehicle.
That's when he commented earlier that AI made that up for him.
Yeah, that's just.
Well, I guess
So that's,
it's his burden of proof, and this is what he's telling us.
I know.
He's just trying to convey the fact that he wants to obey the laws and regulations of delivering alcohol, and I respect that. Like,
and I do too.
like, no one is ever going to be able to run a small business in the house if it's like, this vehicle, you have to have an extra vehicle and an extra parking spot just to run. Like, this is obviously not what the ordinances are designed for.
I would disagree. I mean, the ordinances are in place to restrict.
No.
These are conditional uses, and you're restricting them to be allowed within a residential area.
So the ordinances are designed to create excess vehicles and mandate storage for excess vehicles. That's the argument.
That's what I'm reading here.
Yeah, I guess we just don't agree on that. Like my understanding is that if he has a vehicle that can satisfy the needs of his personal use and his business use, then one vehicle would satisfy that.
So,
but I think the employees are expected to be the delivery vehicles too.
I didn't get
Because
that.
what else are they gonna do in that garage? Keep stacking wine? I think they're gonna be sent to make some of the deliveries.
yeah, I wasn't clear.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, it doesn't say, it just says off-street parking provided for the normal dwelling requirements, so 2 spaces for there. It says space for each employee, so 2 employees. I kind of agree with Greg here, kind of saying it doesn't say anything about a company vehicle, I guess. So maybe I'm looking at it from the property owner's perspective too much and leaning that way, giving them the benefit of the doubt there.
Maximum number of users, the home occupation.
Maximum users, that's kind of the interpretive part that can go, I can see what goes either way during peak operation.
Yeah, I understand that, yes, this is his personal vehicle. I don't disagree with that. But it has now become a company vehicle by the way that it's being used.
But it's not two vehicles, that's my point. It's just one vehicle, requires one parking spot.
No, but you have to allow for 2 vehicles, 2 spots for the dwelling unit itself.
Yeah,
And then, okay, and then so we can agree on that.
yeah.
And we have to have 2 for the employee, so we can agree on that. So I guess it all boils down to the interpretation of maximum number of users.
So with that equation, where does the person renting the house next door park their vehicle or more than once?
That's just not part of this appeal, is it? Like,
Well, in some level it is if he's asking us to consider using the property next door.
well, I think I agree with you on the conditional use not being dependent on a adjacent property unless he's willing to. So then that would have to be solved for independently, I think, yeah, so fair point, but I'm not counting. I was thinking there's 5 parking spots in total,
Right.
but that seems like it's adequate. Unless you have to somehow have for some reason have a separate,
Yeah.
you can't combine your personal.
I am okay with saying this one's okay only because I can't point to a specific way to define users that I feel fits the ordinance properly. So it's meeting the requirement of 2 for the dwelling, it's meeting the requirement of the 2 for the employees, and if we that 3rd spot is open for the
I mean, I don't know if you can make a
Delivery to vehicle.
condition that you only have 1 employee on site at any time, in addition to himself. I don't know if that, kind of
Well, how do
circumventing the
you
intent of the
enforce
ordinance. I know,
Right.
yeah.
Now, let me ask this. So, okay. Let's just say I'm in agreement with E, which
Great.
I'm leaning
So,
for
go
like
ahead.
90%
Move
for. Yes, I can do that, but I have a question
No,
for,
go ahead.
but actually, it sounded like P was leaning towards, or no, I wasn't even leaning, you were saying that E is satisfied.
That is what?
This off-street parking issue is satisfied.
Yeah, I'm satisfied.
Well, how did you feel, Tom?
I'm okay, except the box truck. That's
Right,
my
I hear
biggest
you.
issue.
I kind of fall under that.
That's going to be the thing that has to go in the driveway and unload.
Yeah, and this is what I have a question for, so yeah, so, because I can't fully support my users, I'm gonna say I'm good with that too. Let me ask a question about, parking ordinance.
9.3, the regular parking one?
Yeah. Had it at one point, here it is. So,
Where is this, David?
I'm sorry, this is chapter 300, it's the next section on, it's 9.3, off-street parking. And I reviewed this in advance, because I wanted to figure things out. So it's A1, 2 spaces per dwelling unit, so we're good there. And E talks about the 2 for the employees. I had question for Jason when I went through this, was with F.
That's
Um,
4 right there.
and, yeah, so it's 393 off-street parking.
Oh, I went flip too many, okay.
And then,
Minimum width,
Oh, yeah.
or no off-street parking facilities shall have more than.
yeah. Hey, so the second sentence in this, Jason, starts off, it says non-residential parking areas, and then blah, blah, blah. More than blah, blah, blah. But by approving this, if this gets approved as a home occupation, does that somehow transform the parking area to become non-residential, or is it still considered residential?
Oh, I would say it's still residential.
Okay.
That's the primary use. That's the primary
Yeah.
use, so that's going to be the use of the parking area to be
Okay.
considered.
That's kind of what I thought, but I wanted to make sure that if it did get approved, does that somehow change it?
Yeah. The one thing I had to make sure that was changing is they are changing it down to 1 space per dwelling, but only in the growth areas. So I double checked that just because, not that it is in effect yet, we have to change that for next ordinance cycle, but the state is kind of peeling away some of those requirements to make housing easier. So, but it doesn't affect it.
I appreciate that answer, thank you. F, home, so we're back to 9.2, home occupations. F, the home occupation shall not utilize more than 20% of the total floor space of the dwelling unit. Basement floor shall be excluded in the calculation. We heard Jason's explanation of that. I would agree that so the other thought is that it's that 20% of the dwelling unit then becomes applicable to the accessory structure, but as kind of Greg has pointed out too, there's, it's not, this is 20% of the dwelling unit. It doesn't say that it has to be applied to the accessory unit. So I don't see any reason not to think that the full 100% of the accessory unit can be used for this purpose.
I mean, I think of a wood shop, most people's wood shop is gonna be disconnected from the house.
Yeah.
So to me, that makes sense.
So 20% of the dwelling unit is a certain number, right? Which, let's just say it's 500 square feet. So he can use 500 square feet of the garage.
That's not how I interpret it.
100%.
I interpret it as squarely inside the dwelling unit is what they're talking about, how much of that dwelling unit you can eat up and use for your home occupation before it starts to supersede the use.
Okay, so the accessory thing,
Structure.
garage,
Yeah.
you can use 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how we've always interpreted it.
Yeah, and I don't think he has any intentions of filling up that garage with wine, but.
No, I mean, he said, given the opportunity, he would certainly consider it, and I don't blame him.
I think if he got to that stage, he's looking for a bigger place.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I think,
I think he's bound, at a certain level, he's not gonna wanna stay there,
I think that's
if
probably how we
it's
should look at it.
successful.
I think it's how we should probably look at a lot of these concerns.
I know Wayne asked him about, what are you gonna do in freezing temperatures in the middle of the winter? That was when he started to say he was gonna move his operation somewhere else for the winter months or whatever, so.
Yeah, this is what he echoed here as well.
What's that?
I said, I think that's what he echoed here as well during the
Yeah,
public.
I'm not sure if he's seasonal or not.
people want wine in the winter.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
bet they
why
drink
asked.
more wine in the winter.
Less people, more wine.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked Jason if there's a concept of a seasonal home occupation, but Jason had not heard of one like that. so.
No. I mean, there are probably ones just because of the person is only seasonal and it just happens to really run it seasonally, but it's not, it wasn't conditioned that way.
So this is my own personal proposal. There's still some stuff on the table here in terms of, we haven't fully straw voted through. There's some stuff there that we've kind of roughly 50-50 on, but a lot is dependent upon the report from fire and safety. I personally would like to propose that we table this until the next meeting and request through Sandy that Wayne, at a minimum, provide the report.
Better yet, appear.
I'm leaning towards asking him if he'd be willing to appear as well. I can't put that requirement, I don't think, on him, but if he's willing to join so that we could ask him I don't even know if I can ask him questions because now we're in deliberations. How's that work, Sandy? We're kind of stuck, aren't we? In terms of asking questions.
You kinda are.
How come we can ask Jason questions? Or should we not be asking Jason questions?
Well,
Yeah.
good,
that's
good
what I
luck
thought.
on that.
Yeah, okay. So Jason will ignore everything you've said today. Sandy?
We've
yeah,
historically asked.
Yeah, we have
I
historically.
think it's about
Clarification.
I think it's about
Clarification.
yeah. The direction of the question, I think, is, or the direction of the conversation, I think, matters. That's how I would look at it, David.
Right.
It's
Yeah, we're in agreement.
We got that one.
Okay. What do you guys think about that? I think there's enough here for me that I would really want to see the report and not condition it as upon approval of. I would really like this. There's some things here I feel like we need to make a decision on based on what
Wayne has, and there's nothing here that says we have to meet a certain order that says we do our part first and then Wayne does his part, or vice versa.
I was expecting to see Wayne here tonight, so that's, I already had that in my mind, that I want to see what he has to say. His conditions may be way worse than whatever we think of.
Yeah, I think that's all fair. I think J is like, sort of, it's an option to Wayne to provide any amount of additional context, conditions, concerns, that we don't fully understand and not
Right,
qualified. to
right.
understand.
Yeah, I don't see how we could possibly
So-
make a decision on that without his input.
Yeah.
And-
Traditionally, I think, let me see if I understand your point on this, is that if it was just J and it seemed more or less cookie cutter, then we would put a condition saying, we think Wayne will handle it. But I think that there's a water use, there's a fire suppression issue that may be related to water. This isn't anything official. There's a passive containment condition. There's potentially conditions on parking and access for fire ambulance. And so all of these are related to J. And is your point that because of these confounding issues, then we should table it?
Correct. And then I do believe that part of what Wayne may report on will help me a little bit with I, which is talking about the hazard conditions. And
Right.
will help. I agree too with Tom. I've also had similar concerns about a delivery vehicle being able to navigate and safely, do a delivery without creating a hazard either to themselves or others. So I don't know if at least that's
Well, and the other thing is, we're doing this conditional use for home occupation. We've done conditional use for other things, but there was still a planning board after us.
True.
Right?
some aspect.
Let me just.
And one of them went well, or one or two of them went well. One of them distinctly went wrong.
Let me just ask how you were going to handle, let's just say we had, hypothetically speaking, if we had an additional board member and we table this, would you want to add that member to that continuation of this? Or, just a complete hypothetical.
That's a good question.
You know?
I think it's a good question.
I think it's a fair.
Like if you had some guy with a tiebreaker.
I usually want to stay on the.
We could get
But
gridlock.
it's just something to think about, like procedurally, I think, maybe.
Yeah, let me run this by Sandy. Sandy, based on past things that we've done, it would be my understanding that, let's just say, Jess gets approved by the select board, he's available to be, he becomes a ZBA member, he's available for the next meeting. It's my understanding, yes, he could sit on the board, but he would not be allowed to vote unless the appellant says, sure, he's, Jess would have to explain, I sat through the meeting, I'm all caught up, I understand everything that's going on. And then we ask the appellant if he is okay with Jess serving in that role and having a voting right. Is that kind of on target?
That sounds like it is a thing that we've done in the past.
So we should probably clarify.
I believe we've done it with my planning board.
Ask counsel on that.
Can we clarify it legally so that we're prepared? Like, all things go good, select board loves Jess, he gets approved, he gets sworn in.
I think there are at
Sitting
least
here.
2 or 3 things that appeared to be 50-50. And so I can see, like,
Sandy, this might be something for the MMA lawyers. They might be able to handle this pretty easily.
Yes, yeah, we
I
can
can reach out.
run that by MMA.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have to go through everything. We don't have to go through the ones that we kind of have in dispute, or
Well,
we have to start from letter A all through again.
I would re-straw vote everything,
Okay.
oh my gosh, really?
yeah.
David.
Well, you can't say 4 people yes, and then you have we only bring in number 5.
Well, the straw vote's not a requirement. The straw vote, I mean,
Well,
like, it's, I'm just,
David,
I'm
the
not
straw
trying to,
vote,
no, yes, you
I think it's a good procedural, like,
You know what, I'm thinking, sorry, and I will step back on that one, because I am thinking more about when we've had those massive
Yeah.
ones,
Yeah,
you know, when it
batched
was.
NOVs, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
I agree with you. Yeah, just the ones that seem a little bit more 50-50-ish.
Okay.
And Jess could abstain from everything else.
You could abstain.
Yes, good.
And can we just, for the sake of record, can we highlight the ones that we think are
Yeah, of
are
course.
the
Questionable.
questionable ones that we want to make sure we revisit? Because I would like to.
You gotta make
And
sure Sandy gets it
David-
straight.
Yes, Sandy.
Just so you know, the straw vote doesn't matter to anything. When you actually make your motions and take your real vote, that's
Yeah.
when it matters if it's 4,
I know.
5, 2,
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
That's true.
So you don't have to revisit all of those.
Yeah, I'm just thinking back to those long nights where it was like super important to ensure that we were
Yeah,
getting
but
everything.
those were NOVs. That
Yeah.
was a whole different set of circumstances.
Yeah, and Greg set me straight on that, so yeah, I'm good with that.
Hopefully we never have one of those again.
Oh, God, no, Tom.
So if we're looking at 300.9.1.
Yeah, I'm looking at. So I have from my notes.
Yeah, you do.
I
your
have
notes,
C. We skipped.
Greg. Correct.
C was skipped. I have D was a potential conditional
Yeah.
condition on
I would like
containment.
to review that one.
Condition on containment. I have H
Yep.
as sort of maybe just the split. I think we want to deliberate that on more. I had I, the question of hazard, kind of unknown.
Yep.
And then there's obviously J. We can't possibly comment on J
Correct.
without feedback from fire. And then on the 9.2, I have the only one I thought that was, and I'll defer to, I'll ask you if you want to revisit E. That was the only one I had in my notes.
The only reason let's just say yes, only because I'm okay with the definition of users, but I would like to get, hear fire and safety's perspective on
Okay.
the parking, and so I only say E because of that.
Okay. So I think
For no other
obviously
reason.
everything's on the table. I'm not saying we can't
Right.
revisit things, but if we come in with a concerted, like, here is the stuff I think we can maybe
And-
skip over some of the formalities. I
I
do think
agree.
it was a good process.
And I would ask Tom on 9.1, we had G, will not depreciate the economic value of surrounding properties. Would you, I flipped towards yes, you or no, 2 solid yeses. Would you like to discuss that one
Again?
again next time?
Yeah.
So let's add G to that. In fairness, only because it was not unanimous.
I would like to have Chris come in with his road association stamp of approval, and then we wouldn't be arguing about it probably.
I
don't know if we can require
I
that.
don't think we should defer anything to road associations.
I don't think.
I think that this is a municipal ordinance, and that's a civil matter if they want
Yeah.
to.
You'd have to talk to an assessor if you want to talk property value.
It's like who's on this? So like, I don't
Not a
know.
home occupation that operates a junkyard next door to you.
Well, there are ordinances against illegal junkyards.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and there's been violations and enforcement actions taken against those. I think it's if that were what we were deliberating on, I would totally agree with you. But I think there are standards that apply to junkyards too. I think the state has.
Yeah.
I'm just made that up.
Yeah.
So I just
250 square feet of junk.
Yeah.
You can't stop 'em.
Yeah.
I only point to G because it was not unanimous, and I can see to some level where there's a potential for something that Wayne could bring up that could help us with that one. Or I don't want to say help us, just potentially add some more food for thought. So
Yeah. I think the bar should be pretty high before we start declaring economic value depreciation of property, surrounding property. That's all.
Yep.
But I think I'm happy to revisit it.
Okay.
Well, we can revisit it.
if it was the only one, I'd probably give up, but it's not the only
Yeah,
one
I
to
hear
talk about. So.
Okay. So, I will make a motion that we table this until the until the August meeting.
I'll second that.
Do we have any more discussion on this? Not that we haven't had a lot.
No.
All those in favor? Unanimous. Okay, old business none, staff communications. Jason?
Not a whole lot. Wrote some NOVs, they didn't appeal, so takes it off your plate.
You mean they got solved?
Well, they're in the process of being solved. The consent agreements are being drafted.
Okay.
Sandy, we had training last month. I think it would be good if you would be willing to essentially read into the record who out of this board took that training. Is that something you can do for me?
Would be if I had it home.
Okay,
I posted it on the website, though.
okay. So if I just, given the requirements of the state of Maine, it feels important to just, say, okay, so I know Sandy posted it, I'm gonna say publicly, I took the training whenever that was last month.
I took the,
So did I.
yep, I took the training
Yes,
virtually.
you all did.
Yep,
Oh, there you go, yeah.
Yep.
So Sandy, okay.
yep.
Yeah,
Jason's
no, you
awesome.
all took it.
And I think even, I don't know if this qualifies, but if we did happen to have a new member, Tom had conveniently has the copy. Oh,
He hasn't.
well,
Reading material.
so we have a copy of the presentation.
Yeah, there's, just so you're aware, Jessica.
Yeah, because I mailed that out to everybody
Training that we
else
have to
just to
take.
make sure they had it.
Yeah,
Mandated by the state, so if the select board approves your application, though, Sandy will work with you to ensure you get the training. Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to look for one, but he'll get it.
there's a couple YouTube video ones you can just watch. I know that. The
Yeah.
basic stuff of how, if your brother is, an applicant and you're on the board, should you recuse yourself? Stuff like that.
Oh, for the municipal board.
Well, they mean for the LD 1829.
Yeah.
Jay.
I don't know if any of that training is
Jess
coming up.
also have to take the Freedom of Information thing? Training?
I think that's just the planning boards, right?
I had to take it.
Yeah, it's the planning board that's mandated. The rest of you don't
Yeah,
have
you
to
don't
anymore.
Tom was the, he was caught in the middle.
I was there too. Right? Yeah.
When did
I
that
was
go
there.
away?
Yeah, when did that go away? We were told. at the
Apparently
time.
just this year.
Yeah, to sign a document and everything.
Well, we know whose fault it is. People that signed the document.
Apparently, we were too free with the information.
I've always said that.
Just so.
Are we still rolling?
Yeah, we are rolling.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right,
Make a
I'll
motion to
take care
adjourn.
of
Second.
okay, any discussion? Never discussion. All in favor? Yes. We're out. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.